Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Christmas Talk. It's Sippy the Elf. Oh, wait, that's the wrong. That's. I'm on drugs. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be doing a show here today. What are we doing? A full show. That's right, a show. It's called SEN Live, where we talk about things inside of a show, and then we're going to do a show. And on this show today is people who helped me do the show, and it's RB3. Brett Sheridan is here. Winston Marshall is also drunk. Here. And Coy Jandreau. You know him. The mic's not on yet, Coy. You'll be able to talk soon. We're going to find out why Coy is so positive in just a second.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Welcome back, everybody, to SEN Live. It is the day after Christmas. I am happy to be here. You are happy to be here. Everybody's happy to be here. And what a crew we have. The man with the soundboard, he is RB3. What's up, RB3? Nice to see you.
Happy to be here.
Good to have you. On the table, we have Brett Sheridan, Winston Marshall, straight off the plane. And he is the happiest man in the universe, even when he's not using the microphone the right way. He is Coy Jandreau. Hello, Coy.
Oh, is this a live mic?
It is.
Now it's on.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. Do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. We're happy to have everybody back, and we were just talking about it too. I'm convinced that Coy kicks puppies when he goes home because there's no chance that anybody is this happy in life. I just don't buy it.
See, the trick is if you only absorb angry content, like all my favorite shit is David Fincher and aggressive rap, and like everything I'm into is full of rage.
Yeah.
And then I work out for like 2 hours a day.
That's
so
it. But
22 hours of public happiness, 2 hours of rage box.
What happens when you get angry? Do you yell?
I
can't see
get
you yelling.
really calm, quiet, and collected.
Right. You're like
and
dad
then
angry.
Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Right.
Like at the whole damn world.
Yeah, you need to have children because that's the scary. That's the scary thing.
And then
so
I just stay disappointed.
Yeah, because my dad never really got. When he did, it was look out.
Yeah.
My mom would because she was the Italian in her, so you knew she was going to yell.
Yeah.
It's like what happens with me. But my dad, when he got mad, it was like, oh, wait a minute. He would tell you, like, you'd see it boiling. And if he ever did yell, it was the scariest thing in the world.
I get cutting, and like I get meticulous.
Yeah.
That's why I like working out, because it's like I can have a precision to it. I have a goal. Because
Right.
otherwise it's terrifying.
I understand.
I'm kind of the same way in that, like, I don't get mad at all, and then when I do, it's like, oh,
You get mad.
not really.
Stop that.
I haven't been mad yet.
You're mad right now.
No, I'm drunk right now. We went over this. I literally stepped off a plane and it was free booze, so I am very
understand.
grateful I got a ride here today.
I saw you get out, and I was like, wait a minute. Oh, he's been drinking. You're supposed to be, though.
Happy holidays.
Listen, the fact that we're here in the first place, I can, I'm happy that we're all here, for sure. My wife isn't.
This
but-
is hey, just let her know.
26th Kristian.
Just let her know we had to give all the fans the Kwanzaa present for day one.
That's it.
That's all it was.
That's what the original title of the show was going to be.
Kwanzaa
presents.
Why did we not do that? Now I'm mad.
It is the title.
It is the title. Okay. All right.
There's a lot.
Change the thumb now.
Yeah, there's a lot we're going to talk about though today because strangely enough, there actually was news that broke over the last couple of days and comments that were made about whether Michael B. Jordan talking about those Superman rumors. We'll talk about that. Also, Bob Iger said that he knows the baby's name. I won't call it Baby Yoda because it's not a Baby Yoda, and Jon Favreau says as much. And I've been saying that it's either the child or something else.
The asset.
The asset. The finale of that show is tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very excited. I can't wait. We're going to be doing that. We'll talk about that on the show tomorrow. We'll have a full, we'll do both tomorrow. We're going to do the actual non-spoiler tomorrow, and we'll actually do full spoiler tomorrow as well. And trying to think if there's anything. There was, I think, was that last week I put it on there, or maybe the other day I saw something about Brad Pitt talking about Troy, how it changed his whole career.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was one of the news reports.
Was that the
we
one
did,
that
we did last year, but I don't think we ever talked about
We
it.
never talked about it, right? Ben likes to skip things.
It was his Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
He pulled the Gyllenhaal. He's like, I'm out. That's it. I'm done. Prince
yeah.
of Persia was Jake was like, I should be an actor again.
I know. Well, Troy is what he said. It wasn't necessarily because he said he didn't love the movie, but it's like he was convinced to take it. It was one of those things, and it changed his whole perception and career of how he produces things and this stuff. It was a very interesting article. I thought it was not so bad.
No, I agree. I mean, because it was he got the advice like you need to do this because the studio, you owe them a favor and blah 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 blah, which actually reminds me of the whole storyline from Entourage because I rewatched that series. For some reason. Yeah. But he was just like, I'll never do that again. I've made my money. Like I've got the name. Like I'll do shit that I want to do, and I'm not just gonna do something because someone says I should. And I was like, that's actually kind of a dope stance to take. Like, that's a ballsy move.
That's why he's as successful as he is. What'd you do?
We're just going to talk about how disappointing my children's Christmas was.
Why?
No.
Was it? Did they tell that to you?
Well, no. There was a paradigm shift that happened. And spoiler alert, if there's no children that listen to this, right?
Terrible parenting if there is.
Yeah. Terrible parenting if there is. But we had the talk.
Oh, you broke the news. With both?
Well,
with both?
When you got an older one, the younger one learns. So
because he rats it out.
I got 12 and I got 9, but the questioning became very specific.
But wait, the 12-year-old held out until now?
Yeah, well,
that's great.
That's cool.
Yeah, well,
that's
but
impressive.
he actually he knew.
He knew.
But he was doing it for her.
Okay.
I mean, it made it easier because they didn't get a lot of the stuff they wanted.
This is why he's not real.
Well, but I'll tell you, there was a great article that came out recently about what you tell your kids. You probably should have forwarded it to you this year, but it's like the reason, the spiriting of why and how it came to be and the way you actually explain to your kids. And I said, it's great. And my daughter actually brought up, she's 8. And she was like, she goes, there's a kid at school. I said, that kid's stupid.
2 more years.
Yeah. So you hold out, you innocent little peaceful.
It's a discussion we had to have when we had children because my wife was uber religious and they didn't do Santa Claus at all.
Oh.
Yeah. That was so we was
You
like,
just
should we do
spoiled
it?
it, damn it.
Yeah,
You didn't say Santa this whole time.
Oh, I didn't. I meant magic.
Magic's not real.
But there's something a little heartbreaking when your children don't believe in magic anymore.
I hated having the conversation. Because she set the cookies and the milk and everything. She was super pumped. And the most adorable thing happened with her. Although it was 3:30 in the morning when she woke up, but my father-in-law's in town. The dog was shitting all night, so I had to keep letting him out. He had diarrhea, so we had to keep letting him out. I couldn't sleep. But either way, That was me. 3:30 in the morning. I catch my oldest up, and she's got the big smile on her face. She's like, I almost caught Santa. She goes, I almost got him. She goes, can we check if he ate the cookies? And I was like, yeah. So we went, and she's like, he ate them. He ate them. And she's like, look at the milk. And I was like,
so magic.
It was amazing. Yeah. And I was just like, and the first thing I thought about was that little scumbag kid.
What 8-year-old narc? You're like, you do not ruin this for my child.
We get it, you realist. Shut up.
Yeah. No, my wife was that narc. She said she remembered in kindergarten going, you guys are crazy.
Well, I feel bad because I did that to my little sister because she was about to run the fuck away. And she was dead serious. Like, she packed, like, legit shit. She's like, fuck this family. Fuck our parents. Nobody cares about me.
Bunch of liars.
And I was like, fuck you. You know they love you. Every goddamn Christmas. You know who's put that shit on the tree? Your mama, not fucking Santa. And she was like, what?
If there's ever a reason to narc, it's saving lives.
She's 5 years younger than me. So at the time, I was
10. She was 5.
I was 10. She was 5. Yeah. It was right before they got divorced.
I don't know how I knew that.
That was no, because it was right before they got divorced too. Okay. So that was part of the
reason.
I still
don't know how I do that.
I don't know. Yeah, that's terrifying.
You said it to me. You said it to me. Like, no. It was when they got divorced. No idea.
You were at the divorce.
My parents were 10 though when they got divorced. So maybe that's why I know.
Maybe.
Yeah, same thing. And my brothers were about 5.5 years younger than me. So, but I never did that. I actually played along because I was the same way I am with my kids with my brothers. I was like I played along with it until I was never that kid that was just like you did it for a different way. You were doing military stuff.
Because I genuinely thought she was gonna legit run away. And I was a kid, so I was I don't know how to stop her.
Yeah. That's a great panic reflex. Like,
you weren't being a douche. You were doing it like you tough loving it. Yeah, so I'm cool with that.
I'm 10 years older than my little brother and sisters. That I knew well. Like I had to hold on to like a new round of it.
No, I can't see you ratting it out. No, there's no way. You got a fucking X-Men sweater.
Guys, I'm an elf as a human. I definitely helped out the process.
I mean, look. I just want to make it very clear. I was not a good big brother in the sense that I still fucked with one. Like, for example, there was one time I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. You got that $1, right? Well, see here, I got these 10 pennies. That's more than $1 because there's 10 of them.
No, wait a minute. What you're talking about is not. I ripped off my brother with not credit cards with baseball card trades all the time. I'd be like, Sean Simmelsuck, he's great. Give me Gary Carter and Mike Schmidt.
I did more shit. Like she and her 2 best friends started a girl group called Blue Strike, and I was like, I'll be your manager. I'm gonna book you someplace. I booked her all over the place. I booked her at mom's kitchen. I booked her at mom's living room.
Yeah, right.
I booked her at mom's garage, and I was like, I get 80% of the profits, and then I'll make sure y'all are always good.
There's nothing you're talking about that's wrong.
80% profits.
We had a fake wrestling league, and I would charge my brother and his friends amounts of money for certain characters. Yeah, and then
Because you own the rights to them.
Yeah, we had meet and greets back then.
We did. It was true. Live shows.
Schmoecon started like at age 5. This was a very early.
Is that why I just be at the Schmoedown Spectacular just taking photos for free?
Yeah, that's right. Well, listen, you weren't even booked to be there. I said you could be there.
I know.
You weren't even booked. If you booked it, that's not the case. But next year, by the way, we have a big draft coming up. There's a big draft, and contrary to belief, it is now fixed on the system because people were trying to buy tickets. Like, it's sold out. It's not sold out yet. You can go to either the SchmoedownLive.com to get the tickets or the Comedy Store. January 11th, we're doing the full-on awards and the draft. And if you want to vote for the awards, you go to Patreon.com/Schmoedown. Patreon.com/Schmoedown. Dollar tiers can vote. We already have over 1,000 votes. People are voting. I'm looking at the results, and I'm shocked by a lot of them. It's really, really interesting. So go on over to patreon.com today/Schmoedown if you want to vote, but make sure you come to the awards. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of people are going to be there. It's going to be pretty insane. You're in the draft.
Yeah. People can write in people they want to vote on.
Your entrance. You were bummed about your entrance not getting
that. I think that was a 4-hour setup.
It was.
I mean, how many people take 4 hours to set up
because you were just there.
Walking.
Right.
I mean, taking that specific job
to
show that I was
sure that you were going to do it.
Working the whole time.
So his entrance was pretty amazing. It was the whole day. Kristian Ruvalcaba would be recording the entrances as they came in, and Brett would track them back.
Oh
right?
yeah, at the free for all. I remember that.
At the very end, the Collider Live music blasts out, and everyone's like, "Who is it? Who's it going to be? Is it gonna be Roxy?" And Brett's tailing Kristian, and then he just stops and puts his arms up, and the place went nuts. It was
very
great.
surprised that was not.
I would have liked you to at least got one question right.
Yeah, that would have been good. That would have been neat.
You know what was funny? Because they announced you, and I didn't know who you were yet. I was like, "Who the fuck is that guy?" just pulled a dude out the crew.
The crew, let that guy go.
It was a dropout. We're like, we need one more name.
There's no one else who could have competed. I mean, unbelievable.
Every fan of the audience is like, I was right here.
Yeah, it was great.
But I was supposed to RB3, and I switched. He was going to do that, and I was going to run the camera up. And I go, no, I gotta be seen all day. I gotta be seen.
So you have to be the money.
Yeah. To hold that off.
All right, look. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn the SCHMOEBOT on right now. So if you're not familiar with the SCHMOEBOT, you can interrupt the show. Go to StreamLabs.com/the We're working here this Thursday and Friday on the holidays here. The way we do it is stay on the lights, keep the lights on by you guys. StreamLabs.com/the and Super Chat. We take all your questions. You can interrupt the show today, should you feel inclined to do so. But also, remember, we're going to go through all your questions. StreamLabs.com/the You got Coy here. You got myself. You got Brett Sheridan. You got Winston. We'll talk about the draft because both Coy and Winston are managers in the draft this upcoming season. But we're also going to get a lot of the opinions on what's going on in the world of moving news today and other things. So, anybody have any other great stories? Or everybody just hung out with their families and stuff? I guess that could be a great story.
Did you have fun, or was your family around?
What did you do? Yeah, which one?
I mean, I had a good time. We've started this thing now where my sister and I will rotate between staying in LA with my mom and then going back to Texas and spending Christmas with my dad. So this was the year. This is the second time we went back and we spent it with my dad, and it was really great. Like, I don't get to see him as much as I would like, and he genuinely, because this was never his thing, he just kind of did whatever. Now he is so appreciative of it, and he's just like, awesome. I just really want to spend time with my kids, and so cool. it was pretty cool.
That's my my whole family works in movies. Like, my mom's a manager at AMC, so our Christmas is always January. Oh, so because we all have to work on Christmas Day, so I'm going home in January for Christmas. So my family decorated the Christmas tree yesterday. Sent me pictures of. So
how
we're like
that been going
2 weeks ahead. I worked at the movie theater from 14 to 20.
No, I'm in the Christmas thing. How long
Oh,
has it been-
moving it?
Yeah.
Like 10 years.
Because it makes sense.
Right? And
Yeah.
like my flights are $400 cheaper.
Right.
Like all my stuff is better and
You
easier.
just got to
I
explain
get
to
everything
your
on
workplace.
sale.
You
Yeah.
just got to explain to the workplace.
Like my Christmas is in
Right.
3 weeks.
So that's why you don't take your. That's why you're here today.
Yeah.
That makes
That's
sense.
great.
So yeah, yesterday I just like worked out all day. It was great.
Yeah.
I went for a bunch of runs.
Was it,
boxing home.
were the gyms? I guess it's
Gym wasn't
LA.
open. They were cowards. I got weights
well,
in them.
well, that's what I was gonna say. Is because I was suggesting that because Jay was just sitting around and he was just like, man, I wish I could.
Dude,
go
if
to
it
the
was
gym.
open, man,
I was
I
like,
would've-
just go. He's like, it's not open, motherfucker. And I was like, wow.
And mine's in a mall. Like my gym, I got a Gold's at the Galleria.
Oh,
so
wow.
like the
Yeah, I
Galleria
know
is
what you're
literally
talking
like
about.
it's in the
Oh,
mall, so I
Lord.
have to like walk out to like a pizza smell and a Chinese
Right.
smell. So I'm just like, oh, it's the worst.
No, it's true. Well, their bagel shops are not open on Christmas Day. They're open on Christmas Day. I found that out last year, but this year I went.
Oh, I thought that was a Ben dig.
No. Well, he probably stole half the bagels, and that's what they closed it down. Yeah. But my wife really is the MVP of the entire both Christmas Eve and Christmas. She cooked a full-on brisket on Christmas Eve and then a full-on turkey dinner yesterday. She's exhausted right now. Great stuff. But the best thing that happened yesterday, I'm so glad I remember this. For those of you who know when I talk about my mother-in-law, great moment happened here. Because the thing I always do with my mother-in-law is I always say, like, hey, Pat, you dropped nothing. And she looks down. She's like, oh, you got me again.
Oh, no.
But I do it all the time. I said, you dropped nothing. But besides that, yesterday, she turns to me and she goes, did you tell Vivi that me and Karen and Evelyn are old bats? I said, that's what I call my mother. Like when my mother, I go, what's up, you old bat, right? And I said to Vivi, yesterday, I go, did you say that they're old bats? She goes, yeah. she goes, that's what you say. And she's like, they're old bats. It was pretty amazing.
Oh my god.
The old bats were in tow. But it was it was great though. It was a lot of fun. Had good meals, drank a lot of wine, ate like a slob.
I feel so bad, dude. Jesus Christ. I've been like doing really well about eating better and like working out and shit. And I got to my dad's place because he just nonstop. He had his homeboy has a barbecue place. We had brisket all day on Christmas Eve.
Good.
My sister made this crazy ass meal with like this lemon cake. And so I looked at the scale this morning when I left. Why did I gain 8 pounds in 2 days?
I'm telling
easy.
you, man.
It happens easy. I started my New Year's resolutions on the 24th, so I had a week to warm up. So I got 7 days of warm up till the 1st. Yeah. That way, when the 1st happens, any folly, I'm ready. I'm starting my green juice now.
I'm so embarrassed.
I'm telling you, I need something.
That's why
I keep telling myself, my buddy, and I mentioned him many times on this, at least on the old Schmo show and Collider. My buddy John, he runs you would love his stuff, Fuel for Fit, right? And it's Florida. He's a bodybuilder and everything too, but he's a chef. And he runs this food place that is just basically delivery and stuff, but healthy stuff. He put me on a diet 2-3 years ago, and it was the best shape I'd ever been in, just from stuff. And then I went back on that, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'll get off it for a second. I haven't been back on in like 5 months. I gotta get back on because I know the whole meal. I know everything I need to do, and if I'm able to do it, it's just you got to be consistent with the shit that I'm eating, and the families can't eat it. I'm like, salmon and rice and brown rice, and it's delicious. But then the kids get that shit out of here.
And traveling, man. Traveling's what kills me.
Traveling's
I'm on a
gonna
run,
be- yeah.
and then I travel once, and I'm like, but just once, and then just
No.
like it's slippery slope.
It's true.
And the family thing, because you have to eat something separate. You
Right.
have to cook something separate
Yeah.
because they're not going to eat that, and that's what always screws me up. When
Big
I'm
time.
doing it.
Merry Christmas
thank
and
you.
Happy New Year, schlong fart noise.
Oh, you're not familiar with the SCHMOEBOT, are you?
Yeah, no.
So
this is your first time.
First
I
time
was like,
with
did
the
anyone else just hear that?
Oh,
Am I
I'm
having a
popping your
stroke?
slong cherry. That's
Guys, you know what to do. Please get Coy acquainted with the SCHMOEBOT. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna tell you if you don't know shit about it. Good. Thanks for doing your research, you fucker.
Watch the fucking show.
Yeah, watch this show. Coy, of course, is the host of Collider Heroes, which is on every Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah.
Every Tuesday. And how's everything going?
Good, man. Comic book shopping is my pride and joy.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, like the guests we've been getting on there, and like the people I've been getting to talk to, and obviously it's the worst way to get the best job. So it's been a
Right.
really crazy year of like adjustment to that. But like the fans are finally, warming up to the style of internet I make. Like hyper positivity took a while to get to translate.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
And Happy New Year.
So yeah, the show's going great, and like I said, comic book shopping. It's just getting people to read comics has been my life goal. To have a direct outlet's been crazy, and to have like to hand Jake Gyllenhaal Saga. That's like,
pretty cool.
Like,
The show's that's always been a real. I like the premise of what Fernandez basically took over from like sneaker shopping. Towards comic books. He had that vision to do that for a while, obviously, and then the big man Schnepp took it, and then I think that you took it over very respectfully and did it very well. So you guys should check that out. It's on Collider, and you should check it out. And they also have some more deepfake stuff on, and one of the deepfake they just did with
Lucas and Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring that up, not only because I'm a fan of that series, Jamie Costa did the Han Solo, right? But Jamie Costa invited me on the 23rd to his premiere of the Obi-Wan short that he did. And it's already got almost 1 million views. They just released it. It's awesome. He's really good. You can tell he put his heart and soul into it. It's such high production. If you haven't checked out Jamie Costa's Obi-Wan video short film, you really should watch it because it is a love letter to Star Wars for sure. And what he does in the way that he kind of encompasses his rendition of what he wants Obi-Wan to be, but there's certainly a lot of the Ewan McGregor and James Arnold Taylor, and it's all because there's certain things inside of that I don't want to ruin for anybody, but there's some cool appearances that happen inside of the actual short film. The music's great. The effects are awesome. So you should check it out. Jamie Costa's Obi-Wan short. Let's get into some of the STREAMLabs.com/SCHMOEBOT. And Pity Party says, would any of you be surprised? Oh, that was the other day. Sorry. We, Them Eagles. Is that the other one from the other day when he said, come home to Philly to see my family? Yeah, we did that one already.
Thank
okay.
you. Yeah.
All right. This is from the 23rd. I wanted to make sure that I didn't have any
Left over.
Yeah, so this is Johnny IAP. Quick thought about the Star Wars tabletop game. Did we ask that one too?
No, I don't think so.
Winston was talking about maybe Matthew Mercer could run a Star Wars one-shot for you guys. That way Winston can play. So, I mean, we should definitely we should have Matt Mercer on the show, friend of the show, by the way. Martin Kohler, who says, hey,
Hello, Coy. I am the SCHMOEBOT 10101001001. Schlong. Ben Steele's Bagels. Happy holidays.
Yeah, he got arrested.
I'm so confused.
I love that.
That's the best part.
This is the best part about it is that there's so many different reactions to the SCHMOEBOT.
Every time.
The first, I mean, you get the angry Ellis who gets right, and there was Josh Robert Thompson, right? There's some other people too, but I don't know if there's a happier reaction than that to the SCHMOEBOT.
This is the true test of his positivity right now. I'll tell you right now.
Getting Schlong yelled at me like, how will he respond?
So let's see. Martin Kohler said, great show, guys. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Manny the Mailman. Hey, Kristian, big fan of what you guys are doing. Just wondering, as a fellow Knoll, if you still keep up with FSU football. Good luck on your date with Bonnie, Ben, and don't start stealing her flowers. That's true. Yeah, it is funny that he's just not there. Yes, I do keep up with FSU, and I try to keep up with all my sports teams. The problem is, it's when you. I don't know how it. Well, it's different now because your kid's getting into sports. It is very tough when it's hard enough to try to watch movies that I can get on the same page with my wife, but the sports in the house, I got to just 4 hours. You got to try to explain why you're away for like 3 or 4 hours when I'm trying to watch the game. So I try to keep up with the Yankees, the Giants, and the Knolls. That's kind of the big thing.
But I finally, now that my son's getting into football and I'm watching it with him, I finally understand why people are into this. They get to just be left alone.
Yeah,
for
that's
an
part
hour.
of it. Yeah.
4-hour babysitter.
I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
what have I been doing with my life?
I'm watching the game.
I'm watching the game, honey.
There's a respect of just like, oh, okay, he's watching
Yeah,
the game.
yeah. I just was like, wow, this is great.
I know. I needed to.
Coy has an adamantium schlong that he uses to fight poop mutants in the sewer. Defeat those mutants before you go away for your late Christmas. We need you. You're our only schlong hope.
Coy is falling in love with this.
I am honored. Thank you for my adamantium schlong.
Yeah, so,
Feel good about it.
Yeah,
Unbreakable.
Big Mo. My mom used to just give me the stare, and that was enough. Yeah, I'm telling you.
I'm really glad that I told my mom no. She goes, oh, so can I come and watch for me? I said, hell no. Go run some errands.
Here? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, no, you did not watch.
Has she ever watched it?
No.
Oh, she's never watched it.
Hell no. She can go motherfucking watch it. She'll never find the link, and if she does, I'll be like, yeah, you just type it out. She's going to confuse herself. Fuck that.
Sure. You save the language for my mom who watches every day.
Happy holidays.
She told me, I was FaceTiming with her the other day, and she's like, I haven't missed 1 cent. I haven't missed 1.
1 cent.
My grandparents watch all my stuff. Like my grandparents are only in their like early 60s.
And you watches all of it?
And they watch all of it. So my grandma's on Facebook, so every link I post, my grandma's on it. She asked me who Thanos was.
I was convinced that your family was conceived in a video game.
Because you met them all.
I met them all, and they just kept popping up. But they were like so nice, and everybody was like, it was just like smart, bing, 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 and looking around, it's like
Pleasantville.
It's like the grandmother, and it's like the wave, and like turns out, I'm like, holy, these are the nicest humans in the world. This isn't real. I'm like, they're all murdering things after they leave here. There's no chance people are this nice.
And they're all like weirdly attractive in different age tiers. Like they're all like, that's what a family looks like. Like we don't have a weird.
But the way that even when they're introduced, they stepped up. I'm the dad. And they stepped up.
Hello.
But they were so nice. They were wonderful. But my mom gave us a card, by the way. It was a Christmas card. She's like, "Did you show everybody?" I was like, "Well, we haven't had a show yet." So that's the thing. So
you didn't bring it now?
No. It's in the house.
She's not watching this one.
Yes, she is. Oh, you're right. Oh, give them the card and wear your glasses and fix the crooked pictures in the back. That's what she says every time. I know there's a crooked picture because my mother tells me.
I just had this horrible flash that Coy's family is that white family that all raps together on Christmas. And I don't mean wrapping presents. I mean they're like dropping bars.
Right. Well, in January.
Yeah,
no.
They wait till January.
We start the year that way. We don't end it. Come on, we got respect.
It's a January Christmas.
No, what's crazy is my dad's sense of music's what got me into mine. So I like don't understand the Beatles and stuff because that's like my grandparents' music. So like I went to White Zombie as a kid because my dad was going to that concert. So I went to Slipknot at 12 because my dad was into Slipknot because he was only like 27.
What'd you get me for Christmas, son? Some bars, Dad. But Coy actually does Coy. You do rap though, don't you?
I used to dabble in my Boston days. Like that was a thing back then.
Right.
Because that was like that little white boy Boston thing.
I get it.
I'm from Lowell.
Did you write bars or you freestyle?
It was mainly freestyle because my brain works quick, but I don't. No, not anymore. Like it's been literally.
You're from Lowell?
Yeah.
So you're familiar with? It was way before your time, but are you familiar with High on Crack Street?
Oh yeah.
Dude, what is this?
I did Golden Gloves with Mickey.
Did you really?
Yeah, Mickey Ward. They made a movie out of my coach. Marky Mark played him.
Yeah.
That's quite possibly the greatest documentary of all time
ever. Yeah. Because and by the way, and I'm okay with saying this. Sound bites for that show should be pulled here. I don't give a shit if we did it on Claire
What
Live.
are we talking
Because
about?
that came. So my favorite this documentary, HBO's High on Crack Street, just and Dickie Ward, who is Christian Bale in The Fighter, he's in this thing. It was before he got cleaned up, but it's a very sad doc overall in general for about 95% of it. Then there's one scene, and it is. The main crackhead Boo Boo is going to find his main crackhead girlfriend. Okay. And she's staying with her drunk boyfriend, who's staying with his uber drunk best friend.
Okay.
These are all characters in the Fighter, by the way. These are all real.
Well, Boo Boo is. Boo Boo shows up. Yeah. The other one's Drunk Mike, and Drunk Mike has all the sound bites in the world. He's the garbage. You want garbage boy?
Okay. So that's where that
comes from. He's a garbage, and he's like, you are trash. You are garbage. and then the best part of the whole thing is Boo Boo standing outside on the car, and then he's like, yeah, you gonna call me bad? I'll call you a bag. And he goes, you are nothing, man. Yeah, shut the fuck up. You're garbage. You garbage. You want to call garbage boy? And instead of going directly right to him, where he's standing right here, he goes around the car, and he starts yelling at him. His hair's flopping up. He bangs his head into the camera at one point, and the cop comes up like, what the fuck is going on?
Every little cop just.
The cop walks up and he goes, "Who's Booba?" he goes, "Boo Boo, that's me." And he's had this whole. It is amazing. RB3, if you can find that, please bring that up, and we'll listen to the actual audio of
the
it.
VHS tape's probably somewhere floating around.
That's right. No, I actually
you said it's on HBO though, right?
I don't know if it's on HBO anymore, but you can find it on YouTube.
But they probably have all their shit.
Yeah, just I'm telling you, all you need to. They actually have, but the scene. If you put funny scene from High on Crack Street, it probably comes up. I remember finding the actual scene. It is incredible.
That's what we were known for like 20 years.
High
Like
Fracture,
that scene from that.
They mentioned that the doc inside
in
of
the
the
movie.
fighter. Yeah. It's great. It was the first time. Again, I have to preface by saying that the doc itself is very sad.
Right.
But this is an amazing. So High on Crack Street, but put funny. Yeah, there it is. That's it. Now just turn. All right. So 3 weeks later, Brenda leaves Boo Boo. She hides at the house of her ex-boyfriend Mike. All right, listen.
I don't want you in my building.
She pays rent in your building.
I don't want you in my building.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's nice.
You get out now because a cruise is coming.
What?
Is it?
Yeah.
What are they gonna do?
Yeah, you want to call me a fag? I'll call you a fag.
Well, come on down when we're outside.
Now watch. He says, "Bring your buddy." Watch his buddy. Watch.
We'll bring your buddy.
Oh, where's the ledge? Up there.
Oh my God.
You better get the motherfucker out of here because I'll have you arrested, Jack.
For what?
Number 1 for trespassing.
You shut the fuck up!
No, you ain't doing motherfucking business.
I'll talk to whoever I want.
I'm the building manager
You're
of
the
this
building
motherfucking
manager?
place.
Show me your title.
Hey, show me your fucking title, boy.
You show me your title.
You want to see the document?
Call the cops, you fucking piece of shit.
Watch.
Watch what? Now watch. He's by the car. Look at his outfit he's got.
What the fuck don't you understand?
You're a garbage. You are trash.
Come on over and put a hand on me, fag.
Yeah.
No, look at the car. Look. He's getting close.
Go ahead. Try the right.
Let one hand hit me first, baby. Put
And
a
you
hand-
better listen, Jack.
I
Here
don't
you
listen to garbage, man. Shut the fuck
Yeah?
up.
You got
Why'd he go around the-
wanna
why'd he
go
go around the side?
There's gonna be a restraining order pulled out on you. You know, I'm sick and tired of
Yo,
your
fucking shit. I'm sick and tired of your.
I'm pointing at my face. I'm pointing at my face. You
All right,
want
that's
to touch
good.
me, touch me.
We're gonna do
This
it.
is why I'm a happy guy. I survived this. This is what I
Oh,
escaped.
so
Wait,
good.
what do you mean?
Like that's my home. I grew up on Lakeview Ave in Lowell. That's my
That's
town, dude.
crazy.
So like everything's great here. There's palm trees here, dude. Like they fucking put lights on
Yeah.
palm trees.
Boo Boo is his kindergarten teacher.
I've seen some shit, man. The fact
only-
that I can speak.
I know. It's true.
The only thing I'm really upset about, I wish I had this knowledge when I was doing Collider Live. I would have come in and I would have understood all the fucking
it's a-
soundboard shit.
Well, we got like I said, I'm taking those all back. So RB3, pull as many of them you can. Like garbage and all that. That was stuff I've been taking. That's fucking mine.
That's context. Now they know.
That's mine. They knew. They
I'm
knew
gonna
for a
go
while.
pull ropes.
I'm gonna pull ropes is my favorite because the whole thing goes on for a while. And then he's like, tomorrow I'm gonna go to the district attorney and I'm gonna pull ropes. Give me strings.
Pull some strings. Let's get
Pull ropes. Yeah.
Jesus. You know what's funny to me is that like they just made it seem like the crack epidemic was just poor black folk.
Oh,
These
no.
white people have lost
oh,
their
shit.
shit.
Mill City went through it, man. Like
Holy
Lowell was.
fuck.
Now there's a Whole Foods though. They gentrified in like 2 years. I went back and it was weird. It went from that.
It's all
to
run
now,
by the
like,
crackheads, but
Yeah, I
still.
mean they very profitable crackheads. The meth is take it, recycle your bags or eat them.
You need a fork. Do you need a fork?
I got ropes.
Are you allowed to make fun of people anymore? I
I don't
remember.
know. I don't know. Are we allowed?
Actually, I'm not even joking. I actually did write a whole paper based on that documentary.
No.
And on the fighter and on like the lower
Dude,
area and
Kristian
everything
runs
like
by
that.
my house in the fighter. Like literally, they run by my house, and I watched that out here. It was so surreal.
That's
to
a
be like,
lie. I haven't run in 3 years.
I meant Bale, but this Kristian
fine.
in the movie. But yeah, at the Ford Ferrari premiere, I actually talked to Bale about it, and he still keeps up with Dickie and like Dickie Jr. Like he still talks to
That's
those guys,
awesome.
and yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, that movie's great. By the way, I rewatched that. I rewatched Joker. I rewatched Once Upon a Time. They're definitely up there. I think what I want to do maybe tomorrow is do our top 10 of the year.
I saw. I've watched 8 of the 10 of the morning show. It's
Happy
amazing.
holidays, you all. I just started a Star Wars watch through so I can finally understand what the fuck you schlongs are always talking about. What's up, Coy?
I like how people beat the system with
Yeah.
the PHUCK.
Yeah.
I do like
They
that.
can't curse,
Smart.
they got it.
Smart.
But no, the morning show's dope. And I watched Honey Boy. I didn't really like it.
I liked it a lot, but it is a memoir more so than a movie.
Yeah, I mean the acting was phenomenal, but I think part of it was also Christmas, so I was like, I'm not trying to watch this serious ass movie.
Well, you're the one that put it on.
No. So my sister brought the screeners because she's like, hey Dad, I know you don't have time to go to the movies, and I know you love doing it. So the tradition is she brings all the screeners and he chooses what he wants to watch, and he's like, I've seen 1917 and I've seen what was the other one he wanted to see? Which one? What other history movie came out recently? I don't fucking remember.
Every one of them.
Richard Jewell.
Oh, Richard Jewell.
Yeah. So he's like, I saw both of those, so I don't give a shit. So Zoe goes, I want to see Honey Boy, and I was like, all right, fuck it. But like, it was just too serious to be watching on fucking Christmas.
Yeah. That's not an uplifting film.
I went and saw Uncut Gems, and I had the same thing. I was like, why am I so anxious on Christmas? What have I done to myself?
That's another one. That's in my top 10, I think, too. Uncut Gems.
It's been a good year.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of mid-range movies. Like, people think it's just blockbusters, but this year had some of the best mid, and that's just angry pundits.
No, but that's usually what always happens is that it's never the big blockbusters that are the best ones, the best quality. It's just nobody ever sees them because they're not released all over the place. It's like the majority of the great movies everyone's talking about, whether it's 1917, Uncut Gems, a lot of these people can't even see them because they're playing at like 6 theaters across the entire country. So they have to wait until they come on Netflix or whatever the fuck.
And by then it's old news.
Yeah, but you can go back and check it out. But I'm gonna go and probably do a list for what I've seen because I'm trying to see 1917. If I can watch, I want to see 1917 before I make my list. That's because everyone's telling me how great it is, and I would probably put Parasite in there. It's not my number one; it's everybody else's number one. But I just think that I caught the train too late.
And we talked about this on Monday. You just got hyped up too much.
Yeah, that was the problem.
I got hyped on it.
Yeah, I recognize it's a phenomenal movie. It's an original movie.
It's near my 20.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It really is. It just anytime I just caught it too late. I think that if I would have seen it like the way RB3 did, he didn't know a damn thing about it. He just walked into the theater, went to see it because he's a fan of the director, and sat down and got blown away by it. Is that accurate?
Yeah. I didn't even know it was like a foreign language film, honestly.
Yeah.
I just was
just wanted to check it out.
Yeah, I just wanted to see it. Yeah. So it blew my mind.
How much time of the show tomorrow are you going to spend on that? Because I've broken my record this year of not seeing anything that's been nominated.
Well, why don't you review Parasite?
I'll review Parasite.
All right, right. No, so let's do drunk review in Parasite. Can I tell you that people love the drunk review?
They do.
You can't say no. What kind of improv person are you? It's like, do you imagine no. When you're at Acme. All right, Brett, no. Do the thing about no.
RB, did you remember he did that shit to me on Monday? He was like, you're an improviser. You're an actor. I just gave you something golden. You just like, nah, I'm not going to do it.
Hey, let me just put this in for a second. You're on a fucking show. It's like, we're not sitting around the living room. And like poor Jamie Costa, by the way. Jamie Costa, I could be sitting with him and somebody comes up and I could do the Robin Williams. Right? And when there's no microphone on, the guy still does it. You scumbags in front of 1,000 people right now won't do one thing. Fuck you. You are garbage. You are garbage.
You want some garbage?
All right, so go ahead. Drunk review of Parasite.
I just walked into the theater. I didn't pay. I needed to use the bathroom, and I thought the actual theater was the bathroom.
Oh, did you see the movie though?
Well, okay. I got kicked out of the first one because I pissed on one of the seats.
Okay,
but then I got in this and I saw it, and then there were some trailers for lots of great things that I'll never see.
3D.
Oh God, 3D, 5D, 6D. There were so many D's in there, man.
Double D?
Double D's. And I said, you know, I'll check it out. I don't have to pee anymore.
Right.
And then it pops up and it's Parasite. And I'm like, okay, you pique my interest. Okay. And so apparently there's parasites everywhere.
Yeah.
And
best actor of the Parasite.
Yeah, best actor. And Dame Judi Dench is in this one.
Yeah.
Kevin Sorbo, Kevin Spacey. There's Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Was this a Google search or the movie?
I forgot about his cameo.
JT killed it.
So good. And it's basically everybody just eats parasites and die.
How many beers would you give it?
I would give it 50.
50. Okay.
50 beers, because that's what I had before I saw it. And hey man, your friend, your director, you did a great job.
Right.
I don't know how he got think of any more actors.
Now, Winston, you're a French painter and no.
I respectfully decline.
Oh, so that's how I would tell my daughter, who's still 8 years old, she gets upset. She'd be like, to the 2-year-old, she's like, "No, Maisie, you wanted to play." No, she's screaming at it. I go, you gotta be calm. Say to her, "Maisie, what can I do for you?" And she's like, "I'm 8, Dad." I'm not gonna talk like an adult.
Bro, why is your daughter coming in so hot? If she had a black mama, she would have got her ass smacked so many times.
Yeah, well, the black mama's probably sleeping the same way that the white mama was sleeping, because they were both sleeping. I was out there cooking eggs on like a left foot. I'm breaking fucking mugs this morning.
I'm just saying, don't be an open micer, Dad. Like fuck. If I said that shit to my dad, he'd be like, "What'd you say, little motherfucker?"
Yeah, but open mic. I taught her the open mic.
I mean, that's fair. But then even then, it's like, "I'm 8, Dad." You're like,
but she didn't say it in a way that it was just like being an asshole. She was just saying, you're telling her like, "Hey, I'm trying." Say it her this way, and she looks. She's like, "I'm 8."
Okay,
like,
all right. That's fair. You're putting the Kristian stank on it, where it comes out as like, "I'm 8, father." Get out of my house! Like, you're 8 years old.
All right, let's get back to the.
Oh, she's a horrible child.
She believes in Santa, fucko. All right, let's see. Joe the Giant. Not surprised that Ben isn't here. He had a long day yesterday of stealing all the children's Whoville's presents. Yeah. So Ben Goddard is a thief. Is what we call him.
It's what we call him.
Yeah, he stole bagels one time and we never let him down. Good. Jared from Subway's back and he says, "Where's my glove musical?" Oh, come on, Jared.
You talking about that weird the Michael Jackson glove?
RB3 lost his shit when we read that story.
Dude, like, how does that exist? Have you seen any of the previs of the monkey musical they tried to make? They tried to make a Bubbles animatic
Oh,
claymation
yeah.
movie.
Taika Waititi was gonna,
Taika was doing it. Yeah.
Speaking of Taika Waititi, that's what I'm most excited about it tomorrow.
JoJo?
No, he's doing the finale of Mandalorian.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh, it is tomorrow.
He does the full finale. Do you guys think it'll be an hour?
I think it'll be like 48 minutes. I think it'll be just shy. It'll be some weird
That's
time.
fine. I mean, it's got to be the longest one.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Oh, okay.
Because it's tomorrow?
Do you know you just spoke out loud?
Yeah.
It's like Austin Powers.
Hey, we're recording right now.
Wait, you want me to tell jokes, be funny, and speak coherent thoughts?
It's your sober moment. Eye of the hurricane of booze.
It's coming. It's coming. This is what I'm scared of. As I've now come out of the drunk mind.
You're getting hungover right now.
I'm in that middle space where I'm in between. Am I gonna be hungover or am I gonna be okay? And I'm terrified. So I think my brain is not processing.
You turned into
very
Stallone. I met Coy's parents and you're very nice.
Great, I love them.
Oh, that used to be fun. I used to do because I would do a whole I wonder what Barack is like in his life, and I did a whole Barack drunk bit, which was fucking fun, dude. Jesus Christ.
He's moving up on your shit because you were just doing you as drunk, and now he's got Obama drunk. You can't beat that.
But his improv is far surpasses mine.
Until my mind just goes blank.
Yeah. Well, and I noticed I could see it in your eyes. And I was
batteries just went dead.
I know how hard you're working right now, and you're making it so seamless. But I see you just
you'll be very proud of me, by the way. You see that swing on the back?
Oh,
did you build that?
Oh shit, yeah, I did. I hung it up. I'm not gonna lie to you. There wasn't a moment where I was looking at that tree, going, "Where the fuck does this go?" I stood up there looking at I was trying to figure out the meaning of life. I was looking at that tree. It could have been a Terrence Malick film. I was out, just staring at it, just everything was passing through. I'm like, how does this work?
Fields of oat are flowing behind you.
For a second in my head, it came and went, but I caught it, and it said, "Attach the chain to the chain." And I went, "Oh, yeah." And it just It connected in. I had to find the right branch, and hopefully my daughter doesn't land on her head. But,
The chances we take.
I'm
chances we take.
I'm just imagining you in the backyard. And you're like, how the fuck am I gonna fast this thing? And then a tumbleweed just.
it was it.
Which is like, you're like, fuck it. I guess my daughter doesn't get a swing, and that's just it.
I was almost there, but it was just like I'm telling you, is that voice like it was like Dumbledore.
I guarantee there was a little 3 dots on my phone for a split second.
No, not for that. Not for that one. But there is a bunch of furniture that my father-in-law bought for no reason. He's the sweetest, the best human in the world.
Yeah.
But he does this thing every time where he brings. I don't know where he's making the furniture apparently, because I don't know where he's getting the furniture from, but he keeps getting furniture, and he lives in Wyoming, so he's got to either be whittling it himself like Stallone in the cave in Rambo 5.
And then he's checking it.
No, but he brings it here. No, he drives. He drives his truck, and he drives with the car, and he drove, and he's like, oh, I got some furniture for you. Like, we don't want any. We got so much.
But it's from Wyoming, so what do you say?
Yeah. We're just like we don't need it. And then my wife was like, wait, what furniture? Well, I got you this, and this, and it's like, no, you're moving here soon. You're using us for storage.
Wow.
That couch we brought, if you don't mind, I'd love it back.
But and then so on Christmas Eve, I'm shoveling this shit into the back, and it's like this, and he's like, oh, it's small. I was like, for Lou Ferrigno. And so we get it in the back there, and then I'm looking, I'm like, okay, 3 pieces there. My wife this morning goes, can you bring it upstairs? I was like, do you have steroids I can pump into my body so that I can put it on my back and bring it up the stairs? And then I said, where's Brett?
3 dots.
And that was it. I was like, and I said, you know what I'll do? I'll lead with the fact that I put together the swing myself, and I actually in the slide in the back all together. My kids, whether they get injured or not, I put it together. But now, look, are you proud of me, Brett? And then that's it. So there you go.
No,
okay,
nicely done. Nicely done.
Thank you so much.
That's embarrassing that you say that, because I've been trying to put a towel rack up for my girlfriend in her apartment for 3 months.
Oh.
It's just because I broke one of the anchors, and I was like, I can't.
Just call Brett.
You probably need a toggle bolt at this point. You probably stripped out the hole too much.
But you put yourself in this problem. When you start showing what you know, then he's gonna call you.
I love fixing stuff, but my biggest problem is I do a lot of things for people for free.
Well, don't look at me.
Or discount it.
Yeah,
I guess.
well, that's fine. That's a much better word. And you still won't improv for me. All right, let's get back to some of these donations here. You go on over to streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. We're gonna get into some of the news in just a little bit, but we are, like I said, we're not run by a corporation. We are just run by you guys. So streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown and Super Chat. Send your questions in. We haven't gotten to Super Chat questions yet, but we are still on the Streamlabs questions. And here is one from ASAP Ferg. Can we have the Now You Know guy review the Tenet trailer along with Cat Williams? Okay, so that's Charles. So Charles DiStefano and Cat Williams. How doing, Cat? Now you know. Listen, what I found out recently is that there's a new movie by the guy who did Inception. Now you know, it's gonna put in a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you're gonna hit it with the whipple bat like the Beastie Boy. Now you know.
Look here, Pimpin'. Clearly you have not been smoking the glorious marijuana. You have been smoking crack cocaine.
I don't do the drugs. Now you know. I like everybody, and I'm a positive person like the Jandrews. Now you know.
And this is exactly why I tell other black folk you only need to have 5 white friends. You don't need more than that because they are crazy.
I'm not crazy, now you know. I'm crazy in love with myself and you, now you know. Oh, so good.
Winston, I actually watched Friday After Next yesterday.
Oh, dude, it's the best movie ever.
It's a great Christmas movie. Great Christmas movie.
Crunching on your balls in a one-horse open sleigh.
Oh, so good.
That's good. That's a classic.
Oh, okay. Where we are.
Pimp down.
Pimp in. What's happening? Okay.
I'm just waiting to get out of the shot so I can run and get another LaCroix.
Oh, get me one too. Do you remember? Oh, again, just why don't you destroy the arcade so you can build it again when you get back? Turn it on though on the way back too. This is from what else? Bill,
can I have one?
Bill Mark 57, big fan. Harlow, glad you're doing your own thing. I'll follow you anywhere. Coy is a miserable human. No, he doesn't. What's up, crew? And Coy, I'm from Lowell. From Mill City. Too small world. Hey,
Hope
Kristian.
you all had a great Christmas with friends and family.
We did.
I did my first double feature yesterday with a friend and watched IP Man 4 and Uncut Gems.
Ooh, good
there you
double
go.
screening.
One of the audience members said Merry Christmas everybody to the whole theater as soon as Uncut Gems end.
Oh, okay. So as soon as it ended, and then someone said, fuck you, buddy. Well, we'll get back to that in a second. ZCM Zombie Custom Maps. Hey, y'all, you seen the Tyrese Gibson audition for Django?
Oh.
It's funny as hell and a great
I
soundbite.
have not.
This is amazing.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Is it horrible?
It's hilarious. Like,
Okay.
It is. He did a whole setup.
Wait, is it hilarious as far as like laughing at him or laughing with him?
Laughing at him.
Okay.
All right. Let's go take a look.
Yeah,
Everybody
like a kid show.
Night. It was an incredible film,
was
but
good.
more importantly, I finally found out where all the white women are.
I liked Little Women. We reviewed it here a while ago. I really liked it a lot. I mean, I don't. If someone said it's gonna be #1 at the box office, so take it easy.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw someone going, "Oh, how do you feel now? That's going to be #1."
How is Little Women going to be #1 when you still have Frozen 2 still out, Star Wars is out, Spies in Disguise, which I heard was pretty good.
It was Boo Boo from High on Crack Street.
Garbage.
Yeah, it's like, you think it's gonna be that movie's garbage, boy? Did you find it?
Tyrese, yeah.
All right, let's see. This is the he did the audition.
Yeah, we just got something here out of the.
This isn't the
I love how you
That's
got
it.
the blackest fucking radio.
What's
There
it?
it is.
That's a world star.
We're not gonna watch.
Oh, and there's music in it.
Oh yeah, no, it's like a whole production.
Wait, so he did this?
He set it up in his house and everything.
Yeah, but who got this? Who put this together?
World Star.
Oh,
Tyrese
okay.
did.
This
No,
one's
but-
yours, boy. That bed's damn nice, too. Feel free to touch anything you want, because we burning all this shit once you're gone. I have somebody knock on the door when the demonstration's ready.
Not so fast.
I got more important things to do than jaw with you.
Nigga, when I say stop, you plant roots.
We gotta get to the good part.
Yeah, get to the good part because he didn't look too
Was
bad.
he trying to play Samuel L. Jackson's role?
Table here.
No, he's going for
This
Django.
is what I'm talking about. This is a different scene right here.
Okay. He's got the music and everything. Finding Django.
Yep.
Please! Please! No!
You got to put the "please no" as a soundbite too. I think.
Please, yeah, I got grab that one.
I don't know. So far, I mean, you know, it's
It's not bad.
it's not,
but,
like-
okay, we gotta. This isn't.
I'll have to look at it. It wasn't that terrible.
I think the funny thing
Pause
is,
it. You just pause it.
it might be one of those things you got to watch it all the way through.
We gotta
Maybe
watch
so.
it all the way through.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's
Okay.
the time code right here.
And then he went to sleep.
Not classic. We'll come.
The
I'll find
quotes
it.
from other people just make me uncomfortable. It's
That's
like other people have vouched
So
for me.
he
This
sent
shouldn't count.
He sent this to Tarantino. That's the thing that trips me out is if you keep in mind that he like filmed this with his buddy. He's like, "Hey, my nigga, go ahead and get this camera real quick. We gonna go in the backyard with the cacti,
Right.
and we gonna send this to Tarantino. He gonna put us in this food."
Yeah, send this to The Rock. I'll show him. Let's see. We get to Brett Skillett, who's the one to put in the SCHMOEBOT there, and Bob Seger's mustache. Oh, thank God he's back.
Oh,
Have
wow.
you all seen the movie The Saint of Fort Washington and with Matt Dillon and Danny Glover? Thoughts? I have not seen that movie. RB3?
I've
No,
seen
I've
that
never
one,
seen
no.
that one.
I
So
love Danny Glover, but
yeah, he's good. Did you see Jumanji the second?
Yeah,
one?
I liked it a lot.
You loved it? I gotta see it.
I
gotta
never
see it.
expected to like a Jumanji 3 more than a Star Wars 3. But
Nope.
here we are.
Well, did you like Jumanji too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I enjoyed the Jumanji theatrical experience more than my Rise of Skywalker experience, and I didn't expect I didn't expect that to happen this holiday season.
But how did the New York accents go?
I mean, they were heavy-handed. Like,
Yeah,
you know, that definitely was.
Did it get overbearing?
It
after a
got
while?
like there were 3 times I was like, that was the line you crossed, but then they reeled it
Pulled
back.
back.
And
Okay.
yeah, so
I do want to see that. movie.
It didn't bother. I know you were saying because I remember
I didn't
you
see it.
talking.
I
No,
didn't see
but
it.
I remember you saying that like it threw you off because it's like, well, hold on, you're supposed to be the character in the game. But I think that's the whole point is that they're
Encompass whoever. Yeah.
So it's literally what, the Danny DeVito like ends up inside of it. So he's still going to talk with his speech pattern.
I guess the thing is that it didn't sound like Danny DeVito.
Well, no.
It sounded like somebody trying to do a New York.
Kevin Hart doing Danny Glover was one of the best bits I've seen all year.
Amazing.
And that was a worth an hour of anything. It was gold.
Good.
Well,
Okay.
and there's a lot of meta shit too, because The Rock and Kevin Hart have this weird love-hate relationship. So they're constantly shitting on each other. But the idea is that it's Danny DeVito and Danny Glover because they're supposed to be best friends in the movie. So
it's like me and Kate.
Yeah.
Let's see. You by the way, I realized you could probably do if you did. Have you watched Joker yet?
No.
You could probably nail the laugh.
You probably could.
I'll have to check that one out.
Because there was a couple. Am I right?
Is it good?
I think you could.
I've heard good things. Should I check that one out?
You should check that one out.
And this is so dumb. I just realized I'm like, where's all my screeners? And my friend's like, dude, it's digital now. You get them.
The SAG ones are digital.
The SAG ones are digital. I'm like, okay.
All of them?
No, you can get most of them, and I just haven't done it.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for DVDs. That's how I watch.
This is you can take this any way you want. My hemorrhoids hurt. Oh shit, that's the name of the guy. Oh shit, that odd Kevin Spacey video. Bill Cosby and Kevin Spacey are probably planning to take over the world. Well, I don't know about that, if they can do that, but I didn't see the video itself, and I kind of stayed away from it.
I didn't see the video, but I saw the quotes, and that was enough.
It's terrifying. It's like actually it's his best performance.
The first one was. There was unnecessary and terrifying.
He even plays with that dun 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 music in it, which isn't from House of Cards. Like he plays with the more cliche supervillain music while doing his Lex Luthor by way of House of Cards. But he's saying like he's admitting to killing someone effectively by saying like killed him with kindness, wink wink. Like guy, it's the end of days. We're living in a simulation. This is proof. Kevin Spacey's making videos about killing people.
Well, he was John Doe, and then. Thank you, RB3. Count Draw.
I forgot to
you turned the volume down. I thought I was RB3. RB3 thought he did it too. What button was that? RB3 was looking at his phone. If you go back and you listen to that, RB3 goes, "Oh, my bad."
Bro.
Hey, it was well timed. I mean, it's end of days.
Let's get to some of the super chats here. Count Drago said, "I can't wait for Fukunaga's take on a James Bond film. That'd be pretty awesome, actually. I'd be good with that." Jeremiah Morris said, "Thanks for putting this together." Well, thank you. Garth McMurray, for Star Wars match, get Costa on the desk doing voices. That was actually going to be somewhat of the plan at the Spectacular. Was going to have him come dressed out as Obi-Wan to help obviously promote the film, but I thought it went well with both Alex Damon and Laura Kelly up there answering Star Wars questions. Gary Fisher, Coy, would you rather see Saga translated into a movie trilogy or a Netflix/HBO series? I'd prefer the latter, but only if it had high production values.
Saga it's 54 issues now, and it's going to be 108, and I think that it's denser than most comics, so I think I'd go HBO series. It's also more adult subject matter, so to get the budget you'd need for a movie, it'd be a hard sell. And I think it's been optioned, so it's out there somewhere. Saga's crazy. It's like Star Wars, but more hyper-sexualized and intense.
So it's like what? Star Wars meets Game of Thrones level of maturity?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'd say it's like that, but with the Shakespearean, like classic regal literature flavor. Like it's very big and high-arching, but it's graphic and intense, and like you meet 40 characters a comic. It's super fast-paced.
I'm shocked that nobody has done something like that yet, because if you look at what Game of Thrones did with everyone used to say that it's Lord of the Rings for adults.
Yeah.
And not that Lord of the Rings is for adults, but you know what I mean, like the mature.
Yeah.
And no one's done that yet really for Star Wars in a grand thing. Maybe there's like a one-off or two-off. Like this obviously rated R science fiction fantasy films, but I mean
like a 5-season, like
season.
It's an epic, like mature space opera, and that doesn't exist yet.
No, it could pop if they did it the right way. For
and
sure.
it's Brian K. Vaughan who's had everything optioned.
Yeah, Battlestar Galactica is probably the closest.
Yeah, I'd say that's like a PG-18.
Yeah, that was probably
it was almost
Firefly too. Firefly.
Same genre, like PG-13 more so than
like Saga's an R-rated comic,
right?
Like and the book could be translated to a really beautiful, deep. But it would have to be R-rated. It would have to be like a very heavy hand, and I don't think Star Wars has anything akin to that. I can't think of anything.
No, the thing that they were gonna do that was the closest to it was 1313, was that video game that they were gonna do.
Yeah,
and then that once the transition came and because it got scrapped once Disney bought over, because it was just not part of that the regime anymore. What they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So they won't do that in Star Wars. Star Wars won't hit that at all, because I think Mandalorian is pretty damn close. because it's pretty violent for what it is, but it's not at the level of rated R.
What's so funny is I don't even think Mandalorian is violent because you don't
Are you
really
kidding?
see. I mean, yes, there's a lot of fights, but
the
nothing,
legs getting cut off,
but
people
you
getting
really don't even see it. You just kind of see like
I saw the legs get thumped down and fall down.
but you didn't see them detached. You know what I'm saying? Like
do
you just
see them fall.
No, you see legs.
Yeah.
But you don't
see them from the body. I know, but you still see people get blasted and stuff too. 10-year-olds, watching.
Yeah, but same thing. I mean, I don't know if it's just because it was laser, so the idea is that it's cauterized or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not even seeing any like blood or anything happen.
No.
You know what I mean? So
it's not the same. It's not a rated R thing, but it's still,
Right.
I mean, it's still violence.
I mean, yeah, okay, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Violent. Like if I or slapped him in the face,
Yeah.
it's not like there's no blood, but it's still violent. And I get my ass kicked for doing it too. So
That's when the blood comes. That's the R-rated sequel.
and then more violence comes.
That's how
It's
violence works.
And we might not bleed, but we're still fucking beating the shit out of
That
each
fake
other.
slap was this type of slap that was like, if I reach a little too far, this could go bad. Right. you definitely came up and you said.
Right. Well, that was my favorite. Was when we aired all the cut scenes from the Schmoedown, and there was one where Devon Stewart walks up to Elliot Dewberry and he takes and he
A glove?
and he goes, he takes a glove and he goes, "I challenge you," and he throws it and it hits him in the back of the head. Devon Stewart's a funny motherfucker.
Dude, he's
man.
hilarious.
He's a really fun, underrated funny dude. He's also in the draft. I don't know if he'll answer a single movie trivia question. But he's also,
He also has a short film on Amazon too.
yes, he does.
Oh,
He came on Colorado Live to talk about it actually. But I'd love to have Devon back.
He was hilarious on the desk for the Black History Month Schmoedown. He killed me.
He was on the desk?
Yeah.
He was announcing.
And,
I thought because you said he competed.
Janelle?
No, Danielle.
Danielle.
Yeah, it was Danielle, and because when you said on the desk, I thought you meant on the.
No.
He called it.
He
He called the
it.
match.
He called the match.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to this is Super Chat. So Gary Fisher did the Saga one. Rick Duran, since Coy is here, which MCU supporting characters would you like to see crossover into other franchises? Example: Darcy and Agent Wu in WandaVision.
Michael Pena in anything. Because I think Michael Pena's doing his monologuing is really slept on. I think that's a very important facet of the MCU.
I loved him in Ant-Man 1. I had a whole problem with Ant-Man 2 in general. Like,
yeah.
The humor, I had the same kind of problem that I had with Guardians. It was like, it was more, like, the first movie, it fit into everybody's character. And the second one, it's just like everybody's going for the joke. Everyone, it was the Oprah thing. You get a joke, you get a joke, you get a joke. And there was that whole thing that Michael Pena was doing in the first movie that I thought just became kind of shticky in the second one.
I could see that.
Wasn't him. I thought it was just the directing of Peyton Reed, and the second one was just they just overdid it.
They're like, what worked? 11
Times
like it
100.
Just,
It's like just go back to what it was like. I didn't dislike Ant-Man 2. I thought it was subpar compared to the first.
Was
one.
the second one where he did the Morrissey one, or was that the first one where he talked about Morrissey?
That's probably the second one because I don't remember it.
He did a whole thing about how he loves Morrissey. I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
Maybe I saw a different movie.
That was end of watch.
Somebody, chat room, help me out here.
Yeah.
He did a whole thing about Morrissey or the Smiths or whatever. You know.
Also, Shuri, I think would fit with like Peter Parker. It'd be cool to see like
That'd be
someone
dope.
with the Wakandan embassy in New York and like see the science kind of like take forward.
I would love
Ant-Man 2 is what they say.
Oh, Ant-Man 2. Good call.
I would love a Korg and Meek.
Ooh, I like that.
Like either a short film or a what if or
You know what I want to
something.
see get more screen time? Rachel McAdams as Night Nurse, because she had no chemistry with Cumberbatch, and I think she can do a lot somewhere else.
Sure.
Like I feel like she was
I
wasted.
completely forgot she's.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
We've got Rachel McAdams and didn't use her in the
She's in
MCU.
it, yeah.
The only people I remember from that movie are Cumberbatch, dude that played Wong,
Ben,
and Chadwick Elliford.
Yeah.
That's the only three people I remember from that movie.
Well, and then
The Mads Mikkelsen.
well, yeah,
Oh,
Mads Mikkelsen and Tira.
Tilda
Tilda Swinton.
Yeah.
Tilda Swinton's incredible in it. But I'd like to see like Zendaya pop up in other stuff. I'd like to see like a lot of the like true supporting, because the universe is shared, but for some reason they're like compartmentalized shared.
Yeah.
They've got the MCU, but they're like, but only over there.
Well, Zendaya won me over in the last movie.
Yeah, she was incredible in the last one.
Well, because I really understood what they were going for with her character in the last movie, more so than I thought when they introduced her first time. I was like, oh, this is like another like too cool for school. She doesn't really, but that's not who she is at all. You learn so much more about her in this last movie. That I loved her in this last movie.
They gave her a lot of heart. They gave her some time.
They really
to, like,
did. You got. I mean, it wasn't. You saw it was a facade. more than anything else too, and what she was doing and the way that she really cared about him, and like that scene with the theater where she's kind of waiting for him. It was
the
great.
scene on the bridge was better than her entire first, the amount of screen time they gave her to do stuff in the first one. So I'd like to see Zendaya get to play. Like, it'd be cool to see her handle Avengers level stuff now that she knows he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So, and Benedict Wong. I mean, we just listed like a lot of supporting cast, but some of those.
I mean, I think they set it up very well to be Tony and Pepper getting replaced by Peter and MJ. Like, I think they set that up for her to be that sidekick to him, and kind of the same thing. Oh, turn the switch, but you'll die.
Yeah.
Haskell 420 said, "Hey gang, did you watch the Baby Yoda executes Order 66 video?"
I heard about this.
I didn't see it. No, the guy who does those makes every scene so seamless. Dark Side Baby Yoda. No, I didn't see it. Did you guys see it?
I think I saw him post about it on Twitter and be like, "You should look at this," and I was just like, "It's Christmas. I'm already watching the Sad-Ass Honey Boy. I don't need this too." But
that's awesome.
I want to see it.
Swagger reviews. Hello, gentlemen. Who brought the buns for the sausage party? No shit. When will RB3's white women show up?
Dude, one day I'm just gonna show up in here with just like all the Laker girls and just have only the white ones for RB3.
Now you can tell now his mom does not watch it. Because now every time, because originally when you brought it up, RB3
you'd be like, he's like, yo.
Now he's doing the physical.
You gotta embrace it. You gotta embrace it.
It's true. You're right. No, the answer is that Cade and a lot of people are. Like, I thought I was going to be doing the show at first with just me today, because RB3 last night wrote me and said, "Hey, I could do the show if you wanted to. If you want me to, of course, please." Yeah. And then so RB3 was in. Brett told me about a month ago that he'd be here, but I forgot. And Coy and I've been talking about it for a little bit.
I'm not watching live because of work. I'll see the replay, but I wanted to send this in to wish everyone a great holiday and upcoming new year. Hope everyone had a great Christmas.
Thank you so much. See you
Can't wait for the new era, and I'll see everyone in January in New York.
Thank you. Yeah, the new era is the name we officially named the season next year. SCHMOEBOT Season 7, the new era, where we were with two of the managers from the new era, Winston Marshall and Coy Jandreau, and we also have two of the players inside of the draft in Brett Sheridan and RB3. RB3, are you excited about this year's season? What are you gonna pull some championships down or what?
I mean, I'm excited. I got to get some help, some training from some people. Maybe.
Who do you want? Who would you? And it doesn't, even if they're not in the room, who would you want to manage you out of the managers that we have right now? Who would you want?
I mean, obviously, I have a connection with Dagnino.
Right.
He sold me fake shoes.
Bastard.
The bastard, exactly. And I don't know though. I mean, I'm open to anybody. I'm open to learn. You know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
That's the thing. You want somebody to teach you the game.
Yeah. I mean, if Tom want to pick me up, I mean, like I said, he owes me for the shoes, and I need to be on the championship roster. So
you don't want to beat his ass for selling you fake shoes?
Oh, let's see. That's a man.
I mean, that's true too. I mean, Winston, you got something going for me too here, man.
Let's go, bro. Come on, bro.
I like the IOU one approach. I'm gonna go the other way. I think like he'll be more like focused on you because of that shit.
Yeah,
I like the idea of like, no, you showed me Syracuse.
Right.
Yeah, I'll see. You know, whoever wants to.
We're gonna see.
I'm here for.
What round do you think you're gonna go in?
Oh, dead last.
The last round? I don't think you're going in the last round. No, I think you get picked up before that.
You'll get picked up before me.
Now that's probably true.
It'll just be like kickball in grade school. I'm still over here.
Yeah, we will start kicking the ball at you at the end too. Okay, let's see. Let's get back to. Speaking of which, yeah. So, and someone said someone will need to spray the room once the musk leaves. That's probably true. And Instigator, the new Fast and Furious show on Netflix wasn't bad. Give it a chance. I didn't even know that there was one.
There was a Fast
I think it's animated.
Yeah,
I think it's like a Uncanny Valley Vin Diesel.
He's got to do the voice.
Yeah,
he's got to do the voice. Who else? He's not gonna let anyone else
and
do.
he loves
voice.
that franchise way too much.
Yeah.
Like he's so mad at The Rock for doing his own thing. He's not gonna not do his shit.
I'm a cartoon.
And like, if he's gonna do Groot, he's gonna do Vin Diesel.
I'm a cartoon.
I just hope they call 10 fast 10 your seatbelts. That's all I want.
No.
That's all I want.
God damn it!
That's the truth.
Fuck! I fucking
Fast
hate
10 your
you.
seatbelts. It's right there.
Oh, I love it.
I don't think we talked about this. I hate puns.
So is Makuga your worst enemy?
I haven't been around him enough to know that he does that.
He wakes up and he starts making puns. That's what he does.
That's not your franchise then. Too Fast, Too Furious.
I remember Too Fast, Too Furious, and if it wasn't for the fact that I love that movie, I would have been furious my goddamn self.
Do you get furious fast when funds are involved, or how's this work? His
really
rock
good.
hard facade is crumbling. Gets real diesel about it.
Don't be a Mad Mortigan.
I think the thing that I really hate is I've just given fuel to the fucking SCHMOEBOT. That's what I hate.
Oh, the SCHMOEBOT's going to be doing puns.
Sorry for
someone
your
right now,
Twitter.
someone just said, oh, puns!
Here we go.
Somebody send Makuga a text and send some of that money that he's making over at the whatever channel he's working on. All right. What is it? I don't know. I don't know if he's allowed. If we're allowed
He's
to
not
talk
allowed
about
to,
it.
yeah,
I don't know if he's allowed to talk about it. Galen Shumway said, "Has anyone watched Reprisal on Hulu yet? It's like Breaking Bad and The Outsiders with some Sons of Anarchy sprinkled in. Bound to blow up. It is too good. That's interesting. No, I never heard of it.
I haven't heard of it either.
This is called Reprisal. I would assume. I mean, because there's nobody in here that watches television really that well except RB3, I think, right?
I mean, I do, but that's the problem. There's a bajillion things on, so I can't.
Can't know what's what.
There was 42 superhero shows this year. Not kidding, 42.
How
the number 42.
How is this thing? Oh, so you and Brett right now. I would love to see you both review the Crisis on Infinite Earths. All right, so Brett, tell us your favorite moments of what's happened so far in Crisis.
Well, the microcosm that's floating through the air is really getting bigger, and everybody's getting really scared about this. And I know that we've already had 3 deaths so far, which I thought that to go right off the bat and kill 3 superheroes,
how do you feel about the impact on all this?
I like the show except for John Cryer, and for some reason they've made him the lead of so much of it, and I keep being so distracted by. I think the cameos have been great. I think they've been really smart in how they've used them. Like, I really liked the Robin cameo being like a blip, so you really have to know it's him. And like, I really liked Kevin Conroy. He really had that like.
What was the Conroy part that you liked the best?
Well, the cameo they used was the John Travolta, and I thought that was an interesting choice. You know,
when Nicolas Cage showed up not as Superman, and they did the Face Off remake, and that was crazy.
That was like a little nod to Face Off. I love that. I want to put his face on my face.
Right. Did the Travolta thing throw you off?
I mean, I expected it a little because of like there were some Easter eggs, there was some setup,
was
but
coming.
by the time it happened, it was worth it. Like the payoff was there.
What about the sloppy apples?
No, the sloppy apples thing, that was them doing a commentary on Matt Damon playing Loki, and it was a Good Will Hunting joke, so sloppy apples was canon. That was totally canon.
Definitely canon. He always likes to throw in like the what about the mice? What are you doing? What about the raccoon that ate the squirrel?
This is the real reason why he's stressed out. It's not doing the improv of just doing it.
He's like,
He's just like, hey, what about the time that baby punched someone in the fucking face?
It's like, now I gotta go over this. How'd you feel about the guy eating the baby?
I don't think the sloppy apples and eating babies is the same thing.
Isn't that what they call eating babies? Sloppy apples.
That 2001 dead baby joke got RB3 perfectly.
I didn't even get the joke. I just said it.
I don't either. All right, let's get back to some of these Streamlabs here, and then I want to get some RB2. Let's do the news after this. Let's get let's see, Big Mo. Every time I hear RB3, I think it's a Joker soundbite. Oh, that's a good one. And then we get Bill Maddock says, "Can I get Arnold doing it's Luke Skywalker, motherfucker?" Oh yeah, sure. What do you want me to say? You're gonna kiss his ass? Yeah, of course I'm gonna kiss his ass. It's Luke Skywalker, motherfucker. Borb Goober. Merry Christmas to all the SEN crew. Excited to see what next year brings for the schmoes. Shout out to the Bagel Ben, RB3, and Movie Fight Speed Round Master, Coy. Yeah. Great show. Thanks for making my work days easier. Well, thank you. And did you mention Brett? No, you didn't. It's okay. That's all right. Shug9323.
Woo you titties. Sloppies apple schlong. Titi 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 kaka. BAH rum.
Absolutely.
Iki kiam cornholio. I need TP for my bunghole.
Oh, all right.
Bungholio.
Oh, thank you, Beavis.
Like OMG, like that was so cool, like Crisis.
Oh my god.
OMG, like I'm okay. Darum like titties.
Oh, all right. You really got it out of your system, huh?
Reviewed the whole show. That was the whole show in like a nice soundbite.
That was it. Titties. Okay, let's see. Let me get back to this. Is where
timestamp that one, titties.
Shug9323. Hey everyone, happy holidays. I'm hoping you had a great one. What are your hopes for tomorrow's Mandalorian? All right, let's start with that because he's got this is a two-part question. So the first part, hopes. Hopes is that it's a little bit of a longer episode. I don't need an hour. I don't need an hour and a half. I just want a little bit longer because it's got to tie up. I think what episodes or chapter 7 did was tie everything that we've learned so far about these characters and gave us something that now there's a crisis and now there's something that has led to this. What comes next? I don't want to see a quick resolution in one chapter. I want to see it kind of carry over until the next season because we already know that they've shot the next season. So I don't need if it ends kind of Empire-ish to where we need to figure out more. There's more stakes, and I would bet that we might see him take the helmet off tomorrow.
You think he's gonna take the helmet off?
Maybe. I think it's going to be about time that people are going to want to see Pascal eventually.
So if that happens, do you think that then removes him from the order, and then all of a sudden the next season is him dealing with the repercussions of that?
I think that I don't want to spoil anything for those who haven't seen last week's episode yet, but I think the majority of what's going to happen is the repercussions of this new threat that has hit first.
I to that point, the final cameo that comes in, that's what I hope is that they do not waste that.
Yeah.
That genuinely worries me, just where that's set up, that he may not be used to his greatest, and so I really hope that that character ends up being dope.
What do you think?
I think it'll be a little longer. I think like just shy of an hour. But I hope it lands where it has some resolution to episode 7, but not resolving the season.
Yeah.
So like you get closure without closing the door.
Yeah.
And since they already shot, we know what they can do. Like they know where the story's going. We don't have to wait a long time. So I'm hoping it ends on a extreme cliffhanger with resolution to 7. Right. So like it closes the door but opens a bunch more.
Yeah, because season 2 we know is coming in it's got to come next year. They started filming it already.
Yeah.
So probably around the same time. The question is the rumored Afra series, whether or not that's shooting or not, we don't know. We still haven't heard shit about Cassian. When is Obi-Wan going to take? When is it going to? It shoots next year, so is it going to air next year? Or is it going to air? I still think it'll probably air February of 2021. So I think we'll get Mandalorian next season, season 2, and then Obi-Wan will start in like February or March.
I don't think we'll get it till like quarter 4 or quarter 1 2021. I think
Yeah.
I'm most likely to 2021.
Yeah.
So that'll be our main Star Wars thing next year.
That's what the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, at some point, if they are still going to do Cassian, we still don't know what the hell's going on with that. And if they're going to announce another series, it'll probably be in August. Well, they're going to announce it at August during Celebration, is what you would assume.
Do you think they're going to announce the new director for the next trilogy? Like I know they have a big announcement coming up. Do you think that's August?
You're not going to hear shit about movies for a bit.
For a while.
I've said it a couple times. I hope they stick to TV. Don't do movies for another 5 or 10 years. Who cares? We don't need to do movies anymore.
A lot of people are disappointed that you say that.
I don't care.
I'm nothing about the show, but I'm excited that my kids are out of school and we can actually watch it in the morning before I get here all together. And this is the only show that we watch as an entire family, and that's been a cool thing for us. Like even my daughter, who's very sensitive and bawled her eyes out at the last one. It's cool for us because we can never agree on something with the age ranges and stuff, and then we've all been taking this in and are excited about it.
My mom said the same thing. She was just like, "Oh, they were watching The Mandalorian the other day. I want to watch it. The problem is, I don't have the Disney Plus, so I don't want to get invested, and then I don't get to see it." I was like, "Well, they're like half an hour. Watch it at Brian's." That's a good point.
It is super accessible, and I like that about it because Star Wars always had like a little bit of you have to watch a lot to get in, but Mandalorian's right there.
Yeah, no, it's let's see. So now I want the second part of that question. Here is before RB3. Before we get to this next question, what do you hope to see in Mandalorian?
Mandalorian for me, I don't know. I mean,
because it's Taika doing it.
Yeah, it's Taika doing it. I hope it's funny. That's what I hope for a little bit too. I hope it's a little funnier. Just because Taika is behind it, and I also think that they need to end it on an epic scale. I mean, obviously we saw a lot of characters from previous episodes come back to and the most recent one. So I hope they wrap it up in a way that leads into, maybe it doesn't have to lead directly into Obi-Wan or it doesn't directly lead into Mandalorian season 2, but it leaves us something wanting wanting more.
Well, this is where we also get into the story of today, where Bob Iger had said, I don't know who's interviewing him about it, but he said that he wanted to make it very clear that people should stop calling it Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
He said, because he called, and this was the argument from up top. He called it Baby Yoda in emails to Favreau. And Favreau's like, it's not Baby Yoda. Cut it out. It's not Baby Yoda. They either call it the asset or the child is what they've been calling. But he says he knows, Bob Iger says, he knows that what the name is. Didn't say species. People are going to, I don't think we're ever going to find out the species. I think they're going to respect George that way and they're going to leave it alone. But the name.
So weird.
It's just one thing, it's like
I get it. I just that's a weird hill to stand on.
They got one.
Yeah.
Now they want to start respecting George Lucas.
Damn.
But it's Favreau. Filoni. Filoni has always respected Lucas. Whether he ran Clone Wars with him, and Rebels ran the ideals of everything Lucas put before him. Right. And if you look, and so does the Mandalorian. If you look at the stuff that Favreau puts down, and that's the reason that George Lucas visited him on the set, and that's why he's really tight with Lucas. Lucas has a premiere for the Mandalorian season 2. Lucas will be there if that says anything. Yeah. So, but yeah, so I think that they're going to put together some pretty special stuff next year. We'll see how it turns out.
So
what if his name's McClunky?
That would be funny.
I was going to say I wonder what's the potential name, what the hype is around it, because if it's not directly Yoda, then what is it exactly? Is it another character or something we're familiar with, or is it going to be introduced in another medium?
We'll see.
It's exciting.
Okay. Now we get to that second part of the question. Coy, who are you looking at for the draft? Also for Winston, who are you looking at since you lost the first pick?
Oh, man. Salt in the wound.
I've got my first 3 rounds curated to first 4 picks, and I have the next 4 rounds to my first 2 picks. So I've got a solid idea. I don't want to give anything away, but I got ideas, and I definitely want to curate a roster that enjoys the game as much as they're good at the game. I love the story aspect. I love the banter. When you watch any of my matches, I love the music. I love actually going out to a thing. If you watch any of my matches, it's always a song that has comic book lyrics through a beat I dig. So I want to curate a roster that actually cares about all the details as well as being incredible at the game, which I'm not. So people that are better than the game than me, but also care about the same stuff as me.
Because you can learn from your players as much as they can learn from you.
Yeah.
So let me ask everybody at this table, besides how many times has Ben Bateman texted you about trying to learn your
Ben
strategy?
Bateman's not at the top of my text list every day, because the dude on Christmas, the dude was texting me about the schmo. Yeah. He's very curious, and he's rostered up. I'm curious what he's telling Dagnino.
You gotta be careful what you tell that.
I feel like there's
That's
receipts.
what I'm saying. I feel like he's literally using that in order to help Dagnino.
I may have texted him a couple things that weren't exactly true.
Oh, okay.
I may have, because the first time I thought it was just friendly, and then when I'm a nice guy. One time he gets one, but then the second text I was like, wait a second, and then by the third I was like, I'm gonna do this over here.
Because this is I think this is what Ben Bateman teaches people, is that it's not just people playing trivia anymore. But this is it's a mind game. It's a mind game. People are trying to win. People are trying to win, and he is.
Certainly.
And Dagnino certainly is. So it's at that point, they're going to inspire people to really step up.
I asked him why he was asking. He's like, love of the sport. I was like, guy, come on.
Yeah. He's a strategist through and through. So, but Winston, do you have your look? I mean, look, the other thing is that I think that people because you're the 7th spot, right? But it's 5 in the first round. 8. But that's a good spot to be in. It's for a snake draft.
It's great for the snake because the second
round
round you'll be in a good spot.
You're gonna have a high pick in the second round.
Unless the whole first part of it is cool, we're gonna take all these teams, so all the good ass players is gone.
There's so many great singles players.
It's no, I know, but a lot of the singles players are on teams, so that is gonna run me into issues. For example, if someone decides, let's just fucking take Time Machine, all of a sudden, boom, Ethan and Janina gone. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it's fine. I know who I'm taking. I'm taking Rachel Cushing. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
She's retired.
Okay, it's fine. Backup plan. I'm taking Clark Wolf.
Okay, she's also retired.
But I'm gonna kill myself. I don't know. I don't know what to
Merry
tell you.
Christmas, everybody. All right, so RB3. Before we get to more of these questions, there's some stories going on out there. We got some things. Let's get to the main topic here because Michael B. Jordan, your favorite actor of all time, he said he made some comments about the Superman rumors. Can you tell me what such comments were?
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan, or Michael BJ, as I like to call him.
Why?
This is his name. He says here, here's a quote. This week, Jordan himself addressed rumors for the first time in a thorough and thoughtful answer when asked by MTV News. He says, I've been rumored to play Morpheus, to Superman, to Ducto, Reboot, to Power Rangers, and everything in between. So it's like, I'm kind of used to the rumors that I'm playing something. But if anything that I do dive into has to be done the right way. It has to be fully authentic. I'm a fan of the comic books, you know. I understand, you know, the fans being upset at, oh, why aren't you doing this or why aren't you changing that? So basically, he understands the criticisms that he's going to get if he plays Superman. Yeah. It looks like he hasn't really even had anything offered to him. I don't know.
But he hasn't said yes or no as far as whether it was offered to him.
Yeah,
you know, it's he's a very.
He said, "I understand your man."
Yeah,
he didn't say no.
He's shrewd in the way that he says it because, like, of course, he's one of the hottest actors out there right now. He's probably going in for a lot of different meetings, but like, you know, you can. And he said, "I've been rumored for everything," because he's also probably talked to everybody about everything. But it doesn't mean that you can go in for a meeting at Warner Bros. And go, "What do you think about doing Morpheus?" And he goes, "Nah, I'm not really into it." Okay, well, they've talked about it, so then it gets out there that he went in there to talk about it. So everyone's like, "Oh, Michael B. Jordan went in to talk about Morpheus. He's going to do it." That stuff happens all of the time, and it's been happening all of the time. Now, it might have been an actual meeting to where they sat down and said, well, what if we went in a really interesting way here and you played Superman? And then the conversation started to get serious, and he went, okay, let's start talking about it. A, it fell apart. B, it's still happening. C, it never happened in the first place. They mentioned it once. He said, no, I don't want to go and I don't really want to deal with that particular, whether it's fans or whatever it is. He just doesn't want to deal with it in general. Or he goes, that's exciting. Let's do it. But rumors are going to happen. Rumors are going to happen no matter what, because people, especially in this business, and reporters are going to sniff around and say, wait a minute, we heard this meeting happening, because it gets people talking. What do you think?
I mean, I would say if somebody was gonna play Superman and it was supposed to be a surprise, this is the perfect response. In that you're like, I'm always tied to shit. I don't know what you're talking about, son. Like, that's
doing a lot of face acting, if you ask me.
Oh, you about to get cut from my team. You were gonna be my third round pick, RB3. You about to get cut. You keep talking shit about the man that brought us Creed. He brought us Fruitville Station. He was
2 movies.
Killmonger. He was Killmonger. How dare you, son?
Yeah, talking about 3 movies, all by the same director.
First of all,
The Wire.
The Wire, thank you. Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights.
Look.
Y'all keep telling me things. I just see his face. You know? I'm just looking at his face.
Not a fan. He's not a fan. I love my
Fantastic.
I'll probably, you know what? I'll watch that Just Mercy movie. I might give him a shot because he's acting next to a real actor. You know, Jamie Foxx.
Did you just say everybody in Black Panther and everybody in Friday Night Lights and everybody in Wire are all not real actors?
No, he said those movies are good. He said, but those are the same director is what he said.
Yeah.
He wants to see him do something else because he just acts with his face.
I need a little variety. That's all.
Okay.
Would you like to do the one-on-one interview with Michael B. Jordan that I set up for
He could change my mind.
Look, I'll tell you who changed my mind was Jai Courtney.
Yeah,
I couldn't stand Jai Courtney. I thought he was one of the worst actors of all time. I thought he was terrible, and a lot of the stuff that he did and that he was putting him in, and I was public about it and everything too. The 2 things happened. The first was that I saw him in a couple of that movie with Angelina Jolie, where he was in a smaller role. Right, saw him in Suicide Squad. Don't like the movie. He was great in the movie though, but he was in more of a side character, and the studios pushing him. And then I sat down with him twice. Very cool dude overall.
Yeah.
And also listening to the way he approaches certain roles, the smaller things that he's been doing in the second back half of his career has changed my opinion. So maybe there's something that could happen inside of Michael B. Jordan's career that changes RB3's.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I do want to see, all jokes aside, Jamie Foxx is one of my favorite actors.
Fair.
And seeing him in that would be pretty cool to see how he stands.
I think Jai Courtney became the Sam, what's his name from Avatar? That
Sam Worthington.
Yeah, he became the Sam Worthington we all wanted him to be. Like Jai Courtney's like the more interesting version of Sam.
But Sam Worthington same thing. Sam Worthington was the same when it happened. Was this is your movie star? It's
Yeah.
like, no. But then Sam Worthington started doing. He was really good in Cake with Jennifer Aniston.
He was good in that.
When he's in the side smaller roles, or even when he's in the lead but in smaller films, he's really good.
Yeah.
It's the big blockbuster action films that for some reason it's a different animal. Because I think Worthington and Jai Courtney are very good actors. I really do. Now that I've watched more stuff with them in the same. That's why I was with Pattinson with you was like,
I was gonna say
don't be sold on that Twilight shit because you look what Pattinson does and look what he's done in The Lighthouse and all these other movies. That dude's the goods.
He's incredible.
But
I think Pattinson's so slept on.
I mean, if you want to talk about trying to force something down your throat, that's how I feel about Kristen Stewart. I feel like they are constantly.
RB believes Kristen Stewart is the next Meryl Streep.
See, I'm not saying you know what it is? You know what it is? He don't like Michael B. Jordan because Michael B. Jordan know where the white women at. That's what that shit is. And he's standing for his favorite white woman actress. That's what that bullshit is. I see through you, sir.
Did I tell the Kristen Stewart? I don't think I told it on air.
What happened?
I know that I told the story, the Sundance story. I didn't tell it on air.
I don't think you told it on air. No,
it just I don't mind her. I don't mind her at all. I think that she's.
Oh, you did tell this story.
Not on air though. I don't think.
You're talking about her giving her speech.
Yeah, I don't think I told it on.
I don't remember, but I do remember the story.
So it was. I actually do think there's some. She was really good in that. What was the Kerouac movie? The one.
On the Road?
Yeah, no, was it based off the?
I think it's based off On the Road. What's the name of the movie based off On the Road?
The book,
yeah.
On the Road. Okay,
On the Road, yeah.
From Lowell.
Well, there you go.
Lowell.
Well, then that makes sense. Then. Well, I thought she was really good in that. I thought she was really good in the Julianne Moore movie. I never remember titles of movies. The Julianne
Still Alice.
Still Alice.
Is that why you're retired?
More or less. Yeah, it is. But anyway, so the point is I think she's another one I do think that her acting is really good in certain things. Certain blockbusters, no. But eloquent in speech, she is not when it comes to big events. I was at this thing. It was for Fandango. And it was a small event that I was covering at Sundance, and Tiffany Smith and I got to go, and we went to this. I don't remember what movie it was, right? And they were honoring the director of her film, and it was a pretty. I mean, people were. It was like a black tie event, and everybody was there, and there was like chefs serving. It was a small thing. I was like, what am I doing here? And she's like, now Kristen Stewart is here to say a few words about the director, and I was like, oh, okay. She takes the mic and she goes. Fuck. Like you don't fucking know what this fucking woman right here, she's gone through so much to fucking bring this thing to you, and all you fucking people right here, you are gonna get exactly what she's saying because she's the fucking I loved work shit. Fuck balls tits. Like, I mean, every word.
The SCHMOEBOT.
It was the SCHMOEBOT. Every other word. And I'm like, so I turned to Sebastian. You're talking in front of people. You're not in your bathroom trying out your blue collar material. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. Tiffany looked at each other like, I thought like Ashton Kutcher was gonna pop up.
That's why it was a small gathering.
It was crazy, but I couldn't believe it. But I was just like, but I do think she's a good actress. I was just like, guess who's not giving a speech at my wedding?
I think she's the thing like Brad Pitt, where he's a character actor trapped in like a handsome body. I feel like Kristen Stewart is really pretty, but she just wants to be funny, and she's just weird. Like I feel like Kristen Stewart is just
she's awkward.
She got branded, and now she's like no. Like Charlie's Angels, she was great. Like she was very specific. Charlie's Angels wasn't great. She was great in Charlie's Angels, and I feel like Brad Pitt got way too handsome, and they were like no. And then in Snatch and stuff, he gets to play.
Right.
I feel like in 10 years we'll look at Kristen Stewart like, oh, she's a great character actress.
I guess it's the issue is like you said with like Sam, for example, they're trying to force down our throat that she is the leading lady, like she is that person, and I just don't buy it. As far as like she rubs me so the wrong way.
She bugs you. Yeah, that happens.
I don't know if they're trying to force her. I mean, she did have Twilight, and then she also had the
Snow White and
movie
and the shit face.
Yeah, but other than that, she like pretty much dissolved back into like.
And I get that, but I mean, even like I get it. You come back, you do studio movies because you're trying to like get that money and get your name out there. But even with like Charlie's Angels, I was like, that's the foot you want to lead with. Is like I get you got Elizabeth Banks, she directed it, but you're just like, here's Kristen Stewart as this action star.
Well, it's that list that came out that rubbed you the wrong way because the list that named her like the best.
Oh, the best actress of the decade. Yeah, that just pushed me over. That pushed me into overload.
You are right. Viola Davis is a better actress than her, like for sure.
It's lunacy that she's in the top 5.
Thank you.
It's
top 10 though.
Top 10.
I'll give you fine. Maybe
I could put. It depends on who's in that 10. It's like I'm already saying. If we're taking Meryl Streep out of the equation, which is the given, right? Yeah. Okay. Now because Viola Davis is still in the same kind of. I mean, she's a little younger than Meryl Streep, but she's still in the same age. But she just popped on the scene recently. So Viola Davis, for sure. I think Amy Adams goes in there.
Amy Adams for sure.
I think Michelle Williams goes in there.
That's 3
for sure.
I think Charlize Theron goes in there.
That's
for
4.
sure.
So there's. I mean,
and then I put Kristen Stewart. That's the 5 spot.
At
right
number
there.
5, get enough.
I don't know
because y'all literally started listing like Scarlett Johansson. I'm like, get the Scarlett Johansson. What?
I put Johansson and Stewart. I don't know.
But
Michelle
she might
Williams
though because we pulled out some
Florence Pugh.
burners, bro.
Yeah.
Like we pulled out her and we pulled out
Marriage
Story.
Kate Blanchett.
Oh, Kate
Tessa
Blanchett.
Thompson.
But she's also,
like in the last few years, like
Tessa Thompson's getting up
between
there, yeah.
Creed and her Thor turn and like all their other like indie stuff.
But I think Kristen Stewart would rank over her because of the other work that she's done besides just the big blockbusters, you know. And not that Tessa Thompson hasn't done another thing, but I think that right now Tessa Thompson's she's building. Yeah. Although she did do the Lady in the Tramp voice, so she drops down just a little bit.
Jesus, no, that was a paycheck, man.
Yeah,
that was.
Everybody gotta get a paycheck.
I know, I get it. I just can't. It's so funny. This is another thing that I find myself like so much more like a pure thing because my daughter, who I watched that with, she loved it. She loved it, and I even get mad like not mad, but my wife goes, "Oh, that looks terrible." Like, shh, don't ruin it.
Yeah,
right. And like because I thought it was terrible, right? But she's like, "Do you like it, Dad?" I was like, "There's some good stuff in there, honey."
She doesn't know what that means yet.
Yeah, I don't. But I don't want to be like, "No, it's terrible. It's like horrible the way they changed stuff. Why didn't they have the racist cats in there?" I didn't say any of that stuff.
I think Alicia Vikander slept on, and I think and I think Rooney Mara slept on.
Yeah,
I think those would be mine too.
Yeah.
I
put Rooney Mara at the exact same tier I'd put Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, like Rooney Mara, Dragon Tattoo, and Social Network back to back. Like she's just a powerhouse.
Ronda Rousey.
I mean, totally. Carla Gugino.
That's disrespectful. Ronda Rousey is I put Ronda Rousey up there with Bobby Cannavale's kid. I'll tell you that.
Oh God.
But that kid came out and started saying stuff against the Rise of Skywalker. It's like, first of all, you want to work in this business because you're an actor.
Sit down, Bob.
Because you're an actor. Second of all, did you watch back your episode?
He thought he was great.
Come on, Mando. Let's go to the next scene, Lando. Oops. Oh, wait, you took my binoculars, Mando. Oh, Mando. Give me the baby,
He
Mando.
was talking shit about the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Aggressively.
But it doesn't matter what movie you watch. It's just like, you gotta know, stay in your lane, homie.
You don't talk about Sony that way if you're got your first show out there. You don't talk about any network, much less your home.
He's not a critic. He's a guy who's working in Star Wars.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like one thing if you're a critic and it's, that it is what it is, but you're like, and even his dad's like, what are you doing? It's like, dude, I'm in JJ's next movie, you fucking idiots. Shut up.
I'm on the Disney lot right now.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yo, what are you doing?
Bill Burr knows what's up, though. Bill Burr's handling that like a champ, man. Bill Burr's episode made me so happy.
Oh, yeah.
I love seeing Burr in that shit.
Yeah, Bill Burr. I loved Burr in that thing, man. I thought he was great. All right, let's see. What's next, you humps? We'll get to...
Do you want their news story or...
What is that?
Their news story?
What news story?
Okay, sure. China. Sure. China. Do you want to talk about China?
Oh, I know China.
Oh, no, not the rest.
China.
Emily Blunt, totally good call.
Oh, Emily Blunt.
Live chat. Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt, way
right
over.
up there. Emily Blunt,
yeah,
right up near the top.
You don't put Emily Blunt over Kristen Stewart?
Fucking dare.
You know what?
And now I don't take you seriously.
I'm getting upset that I said yes for you to come in today.
RB3, I'm going to say something's going to upset you.
Yeah.
I think Emily Blunt's better actress than Meryl Streep.
Meryl
What?
Streep.
What the?
I think
different.
I think Meryl Streep does the same thing in every one of the movies. She always does this where she's pulling at the air thing, where she's like, oh, and like she was great in Sophie's Choice, but ever since she turned 35, she's been doing the same.
I understand why you're so nice because you're a fucking raving lunatic.
Because something broke once.
It's like you're the character in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You're just in the whole
Emily Blunt, Meryl Streep.
right, Meryl Streep.
My turn.
Meryl Streep.
So I don't schmo anymore. That card comes up, I'm out. I get that thing in the wheel. I'm like, I hate her movies.
I like Emily Blunt a lot. I mean, that's lunacy. That's lunacy. That's absolutely lunacy. I like eating liver better than pizza.
I didn't go that far.
I like her. I think she's overrated.
Yeah. Okay.
I like Emily Blunt. I like Emily Blunt.
It's just getting it's like there was it's like this big party and Coy just came in and goes, hey guys, you guys having a good time? Let me take a shit in the floor.
Someone just shit on the coats.
Winston's so mad I was his manager ever. Like retroactively, he's out.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you guys.
He was my manager, yeah.
Coy
And
was
I'd
my
say
manager.
that entrance is amongst. Like I'm proud.
That was,
the best.
that was one of the greatest. I don't know how we didn't win entrance of the year
Right?
last year.
We
honestly,
did full.
but-
We went full Goldblum and had dinosaurs.
Oh, the dinosaurs.
We
You
had
got
the real
nominated.
rejects as dinosaurs.
You got nominated.
I think we did.
No, we got nominated for sure.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that was a good one. That was great.
I just felt bad because my girlfriend was like, "Are you nominated for any of these?" Oh, this one right here. So. Well, I guess we're here for the next hour and a half.
That was fun though last year.
Oh, it
The
was fun.
comedy
It was
store.
fun. It was fun.
Especially this year. This year's gonna be crazy because it's gonna the awards are gonna go pretty fast. It's gonna be like an hour, but then the draft itself, the way that then Ellis and I talked about it. So if you go to the comedy store in the main room, so if I'm Ellis looking out this way, on my right, on the corners where all the managers are going to be with their boards and everything, like making their moves, and then coming up to the scene to make the next thing.
Do we get landlines that we get to pick up? And be like, yeah, okay, make the call.
It's called your cell phone.
Come on, man, we can't go. We can't just go to a Goodwill real quick and get us a bunch of those for like $5.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Yes. Yes.
That's a good pick. That's a good
Saoirse Ronan. Saoirse Ronan too. Like
Saoirse Ronan. I put Saoirse Ronan way over Kirsten
Nah,
Stewart.
but same ballpark
Get the
for me.
fuck
Same
outta here.
ballpark.
Get out of your mind.
big ballpark. How big is this ballpark?
I know.
Every actress, Emily Blunt, Saoirse Ronan.
No, I'll put Emily
You've
Blunt. I'll put
lost
Emily
speaking
Blunt.
ability for the last 20 minutes.
All right, let's move on from not
You're in
actresses.
timeout, goddammit.
It's true.
Michael B. Jordan would be a great Superman.
Yeah. You know who's a better actress than Meryl Streep? Who? My cousin Alice.
Of this generation, lol.
Tara Reid.
Tara Reid.
Bro, a friend of mine did a movie with her, and
Yeah.
she apparently, not only was she drunk pretty much the whole time, but they were like, all right, say this, like, no, it's none of the kids are saying. Just let me do it.
It was Brett?
No.
Brett, give me an impression of Tara Reid on her first movie set in a while. What's it about? It's about a ghost in Charlotte.
In Charlotte,
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Y'all, there's ghosts out here, y'all. And we gotta get them ghosts. But I ain't gonna get them ghosts. We gotta find different people to get them ghosts.
Tara, we're ready to shoot now. You ready?
All right. No, hold on. Shh. I'm gonna say action.
Okay.
Because I don't want any... And quite... Who's moving lights back there?
There's no lights. That's your phone. You're
All
giving
right.
yourself a selfie right now.
Action. Oh, shit, a ghost.
Thank you, Brett. Very well done. Well done. Oh, it's so good. Okay.
Oh, dude, I have the best job in the world.
You guys get paid for this? All right.
Motherfucker!
I should probably start paying myself. All right, let's see. This is. What do we have? Did we do this one? We didn't do Bob yet. We did do Bob. This is from Brian Tucson. Happy holidays, crew. This has been a great show so far today. Surprisingly, Rise of Skywalker was my favorite of the new trilogy. I was disappointed by the lack of Gungans. Hopefully, I'll be able to make it to the New York City from Ohio. Yeah, I did like
Actually, Harloff
Yes.
in that Heroes and Villains video on Collider was possible the greatest acting I've seen in decades. Psych.
Yeah, the one that we did for the Heroes and Villains with the lightsaber fights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like I don't really
I was
think there
very
any
sad
act-
I was
yeah,
not
I
a
don't
part
really
of
think
that.
there was no acting involved. It was just like, hey, say a couple lines about this. Say a couple lines. Okay, and now pretend you're light fighting. Okay,
Edit.
done. But Frank crushed it. Frank
Oh,
does a
Frank's
great job.
incredible, man.
Yeah, he is.
If that's the attitude you brought to set, Kristian, no wonder.
No, it wasn't. We had some fun with that one.
You're not allowed to critique acting anymore, Mr. Director. You're done.
I love his confidence, man.
Let me ask you an honest question.
Yes.
And don't lie to me.
Yeah.
Did you have a crush on Kristen Stewart?
Hey man, listen.
Okay.
You're killing me with this shit.
Now it all makes sense.
Twilight came out when I was like 11.
Okay, so you did. So you had a crush on her.
I mean, I
yes.
thought she was
So
cool.
Is that a little bit why the defense is there?
No, but I also think she's actually a really great actress.
Okay,
I think
but let
people
me
have
let
been
me tell you
underselling her
something.
for
I think
years.
Julia Roberts is the best actress of all time.
Yeah, sure.
Now that's not true, but in my head it is.
Yeah.
So I understand where you're coming from. Is it that same thing?
I mean, listen, when you mention other names like Viola Davis, somebody said Regina King too. These are all
Regina
correct
King
names.
is a
Like,
great one.
Yeah.
these are all great like names, like for sure. But like for my personal I just feel like people have been shitting on her for so long.
Right.
Like people are still holding on to
I
the Twilight
respect
days.
her thug. That's not the issue.
No,
She's
it's the
good enough to
ranking.
be
It's
in the
ra-
league.
You have a problem with the
Yeah.
ranking.
She is
ranking.
nowhere
Right.
near the MVP category.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Right.
you're right. There's other more deserving
Right.
names, but
Okay.
she is definitely one of the top.
But you have a
of the
crush. I
decade, for
understand.
sure.
Okay. Michael.
Especially with the short hair now. I'm liking him.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
I don't even. She doesn't like dudes right now, right? She changes.
I thought well, that was the whole thing. I thought that like she announced that she was sexual, like she's fluid.
She's fluid. I wasn't sure
that
what she did.
that she
was dating
pansexual.
Pat for the okay because
That's-
she's dating a woman at the moment.
Well, that's what they did the whole sketch with SNL when she was trying to hit on the black couple. Is that she's like, oh, I'm pansexual. And I was like, I don't know what that means.
Okay.
I mean, just the fact that she slept with a director. I'm kidding.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
We don't know
Michael Dingus, he says, why don't they give the name for Baby Yoda so we can quit calling him that? When will we get his name? Will it be the season or ever? Well, we're definitely going to get it ever because if Iger knows it, they're probably going to
sell shit.
I would assume it's going to be. It's
It's
going to
come out in May when the merch comes out.
You're probably right.
Because it
And
was supposed to be up for Christmas.
you're
and they
probably-
pushed
That
it,
was
right?
my daughter's hugest disappointment. And is hugest a word?
Today it is. Today it is.
I am hugest, the biggest
Just
hugest.
pretend you're Tara Reid.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say, so Tara Reid
no,
mode,
she's
yeah.
like Baby Yoda was top of the list on her,
Well, that's the thing. Is
and that's
that
when I told her no.
you make a great point. Is that maybe they are waiting for because all this merch is coming out. Maybe that's one of the reasons they didn't push it out yet because they're waiting to see. Because what does it even say?
Because if you put Baby Yoda or whatever
It's
on
not
it,
what it
it's like,
is.
that's not the name.
And
yeah.
so when it comes out, and the other thing is Iger's talking about it. Remember, they're deep into season 2 right now, so they're probably you're not going to find it out tomorrow.
I don't know, man.
You think so?
I think you might.
It's
I
on
did not mean to go
pre-sale
Obama
on Amazon. I'm gonna check real quick.
What they call it?
The
they call it,
child
yeah.
is listed on so much merch now. Like
Is
all
that,
the-
I think it's probably
Yeah.
just the child.
I would say the official store, like Disney and stuff, would be the child or the asset. There's no chance that the people are not selling Baby Yodas if it's like off market.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
They're not calling it the child on
No.
Etsy.
Bro,
No.
we go right now to Santee Alley. I guarantee you there's at least 20
That's
shops
that
with a
Baby
fucking
Yoda.
Baby Yoda in
My
that
my 2-year-old, she sees it, Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda. It's just, she sings that Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda. Have you seen that song? And I mess with them all the time. I'll switch it up and I go swinging in a house, baby. She goes, no, pod, riding in pod. I go, we're riding in pod.
Yeah, it's the child. It's for the Funko,
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
plush.
the child.
It's all the child.
Dude, oh God, my flight to Dallas, I forgot about this. There was a baby screaming at the top of its fucking
that's
lungs.
always
Pretty
fun.
much the whole flight, with the exception of when the mom pulled the phone out and played the Baby Yoda song. Complete silence.
Done.
Just
Yeah, Baby Yoda. She loves it.
and then it was off, and they were like, "Sorry, ma'am, you got to put the phone on airplane mode," and
like,
she
you-
wasn't gonna pay for the baby. Lost its shit again.
Well, that's when the mother should say, "Are you sure?"
Also, airplane mode in 2019 seems really like if we don't have the technology to shield from a phone,
Right.
Yeah,
how
yeah.
is that plane staying in the
I
air?
was 2 seconds away, but I was like, "Fuck this! I'm just gonna use my phone." But I was 2 seconons away from giving her my GoGo in-flight login
Yeah.
to just be like, "Let the child watch fucking
Please,
Baby
let her have
Yoda."
Baby Yoda for the
Yeah.
best of all of us.
That's what pops up again. It's the Sebastian voice, just like, "Hey, let the kid watch what he wants to watch. You want to deal with that? What are you doing?
I gotta meet this guy.
Yeah, you just gotta watch his shit.
Oh,
Man. You gotta watch
I
it.
thought he was a homie of yours.
No, he is.
Oh, okay.
He's-
They're on the poster together.
No, I see that.
His new special's great, man. His newest Netflix is so good.
Well, that was the old. I like when he does. I like the observational stuff that he does. Like the Chipotle bit's my favorite.
Yeah.
It's the best. Just like, God forbid you ask him for guacamole. They go into a panic. But that's an extra $1. It's okay. All right, let's see. So now we get to. We did that one already. Dalen again. Hello, gentlemen. 2 questions. 1, do you think Brienne would make a good commissioner for the league? 2, what do you think of Frankie's mock draft? Also, Hyper RPG did a Star Wars RPG with Hector, Emma, and Joestar. Ken and Roka did a guest on it. Enjoy. Well, that's awesome to know. So check out that Hyper RPG one. They're friends of ours. Question 1, do I think Brienne would make a good commissioner for the league? Yes. The problem with Brienne is she's not available enough. That's the thing. She's got she's a mom. She's got a lot of other things. She lives a little farther away. Well, not farther away from here, but from where we shoot. And it's one of the reasons she couldn't do Patreon anymore. She's just not involved as much. So what do you think of Frankie's mock draft? I watched Frank's draft. I don't know did you guys see it?
Send it to me.
Yeah, I sent it to you too.
I haven't seen it yet, no.
So I think Frank goes off of stats a lot. More so than I think that he should, because of what you were saying though too. It's all about like it's all of it. It's all together, and I think sometimes. And that's why he's here, is because he's the stats guy, and that's what he goes off of first and foremost. But I think his first round was close to where it pairs up. I think once he starts getting to 3, it's just too unpredictable. You don't know where it's going to go. I don't think he's necessarily dead out wrong.
But it's so hard to theorize at that point. Who's going to get each of these?
You didn't have a lot of rookies in there. There are some people, there are some rookies in that. I think there's going to be superstars in that, because we're going to look back if we continue to say this is successful and we keep doing this. We're going to go, can you believe that so-and-so went in the 6th round? That's a first round pick next year.
And that's so much fun about like sport in general is looking back on like who look at Brady, man.
Yeah, well, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson. What, the fact that they went for Trubisky high and left Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, like, oh, dude.
So many of the best players now were not first or second round draft picks.
If Bateman came into the league and we were doing a draft back in season 4, he doesn't go in the first round. He probably goes in the 3rd or 4th. He wasn't as Andrew Guy was the better player when they came in, and now Bateman's a first round pick, if not the first pick.
But he's trapped with Dick.
Yeah, that's right. So, but it's good. Douglas Johnson, Octavia Spencer is better than most of them.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's supporting. She's mostly supporting parts though, so it's tough to
understand, but you can give her a leading role and she would crush it.
Someone else said Natalie Portman. I feel bad for Natalie.
She didn't do it
not this decade.
Oh, that's true. That's
Not
true.
this decade.
She's done some stuff, but not.
No, if you're talking the 2000s,
wait a minute.
I get
What
that.
are you talking about? Black Swan was 2010.
And
That's
then
one movie.
Jackie and Black Swan are the
Black
two.
Swan,
Annihilation.
Annihilation.
No, but
Annihilation. She's incredible. in
No,
Annihilation.
no, there are literally movies that she sleepwalked through. I trust me.
I
bro.
don't disagree with you.
Your
When it comes
Highness,
to-
she sleptwalked through that entire movie.
The big budget movies is not somewhere where she
Jackie
should play.
was not good.
She doesn't. You didn't think she was good in Jackie? I thought she was incredible.
She went in and out of that accent.
Oh, really? I thought she was great in Jackie. But I also, and the other one that I loved was Vox Lux.
I didn't get around to
Loved
seeing that
Vox
one.
Lux, but yeah, when she's in those movies, when she needs to actually rely on her talent, boom. It's but the same thing with Kristen Stewart, and she wasn't any good in those fucking Snow White movies. Come on,
but Kristen Stewart has more indie movies that she's good in than Natalie Portman has.
I think there's different types of acting. Like you look at what Chris Evans can do in these big blockbusters, most actors can't. You look at Downey Jr. Like there's blockbuster actors, and you see that. Whereas indie actors, there's a different flavor. And when you cross over, great. But a lot of times people are good at one thing. That's why I was so impressed with Jake Gyllenhaal in Mysterio, because he basically played a theater kid.
Well,
like Jake Gyllenhaal played like every high school theater kid we know on a big budget scale. But that's so hard to land.
I get where you're coming from. But you mentioned both Robert Downey and Chris Evans. They both can do that indie shit though.
Yeah.
Like I look at Snowpiercer, I look at Knives Out.
I think Ryan Reynolds can too. I think a lot of Ryan Reynolds' indies are better than his blockbusters. But I think it's a different kind of acting that it's hard to judge them as equal things.
Yeah.
Knapsacks Ponytails back. Thank you for the promo. Thank you for the promo code for the live events. I upgraded for the meet and greet for the New York show. Will there be any white women there? I'm sure there will be. He says he's asking for RB3 though. So, so those people who don't know, I'm glad you reminded me. Up until tomorrow, we're still doing our Christmas giveaway here, and it is using the code SCHMOEVILLE, and you can get 20% off of the Atlanta or Brooklyn ticket, any one of them, any tier, whether it's the VIP, the Elite, whatever it is, you get 20% off if you use the code SCHMOEVILLE, but that's only going to be available until tomorrow morning. So after tomorrow morning, it will not be available, but you can get 20% off of any ticket from Atlanta or Brooklyn. Go to schmoedownlive.com and use the code SCHMOEVILLE. Do it quick because it's going to be gone. And you have Kevin Smets, the Inner Geekdom champion, defending his title against the former champ, the amazing Mara Kanopik. And Andrew Guy will be facing his former manager, Burnett. The only reason Burnett as a manager is allowed to compete is because Ben Bateman had the stipulation that he was allowed to pick anybody for Guy to play in his next singles match. So he chose Burnett. This is the only match that Burnett will be playing in the season. Of course, another stipulation thing happens, but that is it. So what will happen is that Burnett will have to leave one spot open on his roster. He will be an active competitor, and then once that is over, he will be off and basically cutting himself as a competitor. So that's how that will work. He will not have 11 people plus himself, because it will count towards his team's faction, his win, but he has to cut himself basically afterwards. Okay, so let's get to some more of these Streamlabs too. We got about 9 minutes left before we call it a day here on SEN Live. Thanks for everybody for joining us. This is from Piz. The Rise of Skywalker ending was very vague, I believe intentionally. If JJ explains more the next few days, that changes the meaning of the end, and that is enough for repeat viewings, and it could change some minds about the film. Merry Christmas, guys. Well, I mean, look, without getting into it too much, I think that explaining your ending over interviews is probably not the best thing, because it should be able to speak for itself if you want. But I didn't necessarily. I mean, there's overall the entire movie. I think it's an adventure ride. I think it's cotton candy. It is I enjoyed it more than The Last Jedi, but I also think that it's a movie that it's just it just signifies to me more of why I want television shows, because you can really develop characters and plot and an understanding and a through line from plot A to plot B to say, this is exactly where I want to go. This is who you're going to meet across the way, and you're invested all the way through. And I don't think we had that over the last 4 years, and I'm glad to get away from it, because it's more the storytelling and the medium through TV for Star Wars is personally what I want. I know some other people don't want that, but that's just how I feel.
And you don't have to get a babysitter to go to a theater.
That's true.
That's the big
I was just gonna say that if Scorsese had said this about this recent trilogy, then I would have been more on board with him talking about amusement parks, that the films like these are amusement parks, because I feel like the MCU does bring a lot of heart and soul and character development, whereas this feels more, like you said, this was a lot of just, here's your spectacle. Yeah.
I really liked a lot of scenes in the movie. Like, there were a lot of scenes that were for me, but the movie as a whole, the scenes didn't feel like they went together in a way that I was, like, satiated. So cotton candies are great. Like, it tastes good, it's fluffy, but I don't feel like I ate. So I really enjoyed watching the movie. I enjoyed, like, I experienced a Star Wars. I got to be in a 2-hour Star Wars experience, but I left going like, oh,
it was hollow.
Yeah, and that's it. And I agree with what you're saying about the new DC films as well. I think Shazam is really strong. I think Joker's incredible. Like, I think you can find heart in blockbuster. They're not usually, but like, we're getting better about including both.
But this is why Joker to me look, as far as an overall tone, you can't do that with every movie. It's a very dark and serious film.
Sure.
But Joker to me is the way I wish they would go back to blockbuster filming. They made that movie for like $60 to like $80 million or whatever it was. Yeah. And I think this is and I bring up the problem that the last Terminator had. It's like, it's too big. There's too much going on. And I get it, just because you think that it's a Star Wars movie, it needs $300 million on a budget. It doesn't.
I'd rather have 5 $60 million films have a chance than one $300 million film go the way Terminator did.
Mandalorian season 1 cost $120 million. Some people have problems with some of the effects. I don't. I feel it reminds me of the old school trilogy in the way that it looks. There's some stuff in there. You go, okay, like the makeup a little bit, I can tell, but I could tell in the cantina in episode 4. That's a guy in a fucking wolf mask. Okay, that's fine.
Rick Baker's right off screen.
I dig that shit, man. I don't know. So it's I just think that's a problem with blockbuster filming in general, is that when you give directors too much money, they overuse. They overuse, and it takes away from character and story.
I think X-Men First Class is better than a lot of the X-Men movies, and it was one of the smaller budgets because they invested in
First Class is my favorite X-Men film
because it was a movie.
Yes.
Like, it was a movie first.
I always say it was the relationship that I wish I would have gotten with Anakin and Obi-Wan. That to me was that, because Fassbender to me was the way I always envisioned Anakin. in that movie, in that
Yeah.
in First Class, of the one who's struggling, who has all this anger.
You see
and
the
stuff.
struggle.
You see it, but you also understand why he's so good friends with Charles.
Right.
And you understand it. So when that snap comes, you go, yeah, you knew that was coming.
You got to be with him. You got to be along for the ride when he snaps. And Logan was $12. Like these movies are.
No, it's true. No, but
Compared to like
it was.
I understand. That was just a bar. Maybe you did just around because that.
I wanted you to. I'm going to pleasure myself to the thought of you today.
I don't know. Oh,
I already have Ian
Oh,
queued
good
up.
Lord.
If you have some free time, come join me.
Oh, nice. Well,
I have some ideas about the SCHMOEBOT and how we can make a big bang.
wow.
Poor choice of words in that last one.
I think the whole statement was a poor choice of words. All right, let's see. We're going back to the super chats here. Instigator said Nick Jonas came around for me after Kingdom and Jumanji. Yeah, I think Nick Jonas isn't too bad. Isn't too bad. So this is Matthew Hughes. Happy holidays, y'all. I need your help today. I'm 33 and I was making my bed and I pulled a muscle in my lower back. It hurt like a motherfucker. I'm gaining more mobility back, but it still hurts. I need your aid. Go give him a massage. I don't know what.
Where do you live?
Yeah. No. I think you look, man. Just rest. That's all I can tell you.
$25, you can get a TENS machine. It's an electrode thing. My wife uses it, and you hook it up, and it kind of gives you electric pulses and things like that. And it really helped her a lot. She had a lot of back issues, and it's a nice thing. It's only $25, but don't put it on your head.
Hot cold compress and stretching.
And if you can't right away, some Tiger Balm or some Icy Hot, just to at least buy you some time.
Yeah,
that'll help too.
Yeah. Eli the Creative. If Bop has a cameo, what would you be excited for? Batgirl, Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and which actress would you want to play them? Mine, Chastain is Poison. If Bop?
Birds of Prey. It took me a second. I wouldn't have known until he listed the characters.
Once you started listening to the characters, I started.
Yeah, the kids go Bop.
Who is rumored to or is assigned to play Catwoman?
No one yet.
No one. Zoe Kravitz is.
Oh, right.
Yes,
right.
I would love to see Zoe Kravitz make an appearance.
Zoe Kravitz?
I like Zoe. It was Zoe Kravitz.
Thank you. God damn it, yes.
For best of the decade?
Nah.
Come on. I was going to say.
I don't think she's ranked.
Not best, but she's higher than Kristen.
No, I wouldn't put her higher than Kristen.
But I do have more of a crush on
Zoe Kravitz.
Me
too. I do too.
On Kristen Stewart.
But no. I don't.
Not
Not
best
yet.
of the decade.
Not yet.
No, she's not best of the decade, but she's higher than Kristen.
I wouldn't put her higher.
I wouldn't put it higher than Kristen.
Haskell 420. Is it official that the draft won't be live streamed? It's not official yet. It's just unlikely because it's just a matter of what we can do. Mark's still looking into it, but it's unlikely. So it'll probably be out pretty fast. If we shoot it on that Saturday, we'd like to get it out to everybody by Monday or Tuesday. Garth McMurray. I always call Baby Yoda Yodi after Mark Riley. Well, that makes sense. And I'm sure that Danielle did too. Jay Boogie, Natalie Portman, Regina King, Margot Robbie, and Hilary Swank. Hilary Swank would rank higher.
Of this decade?
What's Hilary Swank doing lately?
Yeah.
Well, 2010, I guess it's, yeah.
Nah.
Margot Robbie, yes.
Margot Robbie for sure.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie's in the conversation. She had like 4.
He also put Zazie Beetz in there.
But again, she's the last like 4 years. That doesn't, I don't know if that's strong enough.
Gerald Boney. Coy, any interest in creating your own comic?
I've actually got an interesting Spider-Man story I want to tell, like a 6-issue mini where I've got like a different take on Spidey, and then I'm actually writing a feature which is comic book themed, and I'm like 7/8 done. I've got like 15 pages left for my outline of a script, and I've had 2 scripts options, so there's a chance. Wow. But yeah, I got an idea for awesome. Like my take on an original take on a mythology you're familiar with.
That's awesome. And then we have Langley McNeely. Thoughts on John Mulaney's Sack Lunch Netflix special? Haven't seen it yet.
It's so good.
Is it really good?
Remember like variety specials in the 80s when you were kids growing up?
Yeah.
It's that, but with the modern sense of humor of John Mulaney. So it's really self-aware, tongue-in-cheek. There's some interesting cameos, and it's all John Mulaney. It's brilliant.
Have you seen him and Pete Davidson on SNL's recap of The Mule?
So good.
Holy
so good.
Fuck.
Dude, Mulaney's brilliant. Like he's one of the best comics working today. Mulaney's solid.
Yeah.
Listen, RB3. Thank you guys. So I wanted to thank you guys for joining us here on this day after Christmas. Thank you for joining us. Obviously, I've had a great time with your friends, and family. Thanks to RB3. Thanks to Winston and Brett. Thanks to Coy Jandreau. Check him out on Heroes every Tuesday and Comic Book Shopping on Collider. And check these guys out at the draft. Come to the draft January 11th. The awards and the draft at the Comedy Store. The SCHMOEDOwnLive.com. Put the code in SCHMOEVILLE to get 20% off of either New York or Atlanta. Do it. SCHMOEDOwnLive.com. Only available tomorrow. We'll see you. Go check out Jamie Costa's Obi-Wan short. It's awesome. We'll see you guys tomorrow.